Hello, everyone, and welcome to Roll for Chaos here. We are providing you a brand new game. This one's Hellriders. This is a Descent to Avernus module our own way. Of course, we're playing Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition today, and we have a wonderful cast of individuals here going through our session 0. Brand new game, brand new characters. We're going to roll them up live on stream with everybody else here so that we can show you how the process is done, figure it out for ourselves, make sure we have everything, copacetic. You get to know these individuals from the beginning all the way until the bitter, dark, and dreary end. Probably tragic, I'm sure. Every single one of them. But we'll see. TPK in the first 3 episodes. Here we go. All right. So we're going to start off here with some new faces that you haven't seen. Some old faces I'm sure that you have seen. Not that they're old. They're all beautiful, every one of you. But we're going to go like we do in the Roll for Chaos style and roll at random to see who goes first. I got a D6, and we're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Back around the other side. We're starting off with Brian. You're up first, as usual. The curse remains every single game. So if you would.
I don't know how many sessions or games this has been, Ty.
It's hundreds at this point, I'm pretty sure. So who are you? Who are you playing, and what can we expect from your character in this game?
Hey, everybody. Some of you probably already know me. I'm Atomic Zero, depending on where and how you look for it. Twitch.tv/Atomic Zero, TTV_Atomic Zero on the Twitters or the X's or whatever you want to call it. Blech. And I am playing, whatever, the thing. I am playing Wistalar Hasraya, which is, and they are a warlock, a dragonborn warlock, as you can tell, a gorgeous amethyst, gem-based dragonborn, who got into some stuff and now works for the genie, because of course that's as you do. They kind of came from humble roots, small town, I guess like blue collar small town over in Ethereal. Had wanderlust, didn't really want the whole blue collar thing. They always wanted something a little bit more, and kind of manifested their own destiny, kind of just scrounged up some money, shipped into Baldur's Gate, and found some odd jobs here and there, but generally was down on their luck, generally not doing well until they magically made a deal with this mystical patron, and then their luck came off of that. So currently in the world, they are kind of a budding gem and jewelry seller in Baldur's Gate. Small, tiny little, corner store. Not barely anything to shake a stick at, but it's at least something, and it is theirs.
Mm-hmm. Well, that would be Wistalar. That's Brian. Thank you very much. We're going to move right along in a clockwise fashion. You're next, Gwen. Who's Willami?
Of course.
Willamai.
Willamie.
Willamai and Central Lamb.
Exactly. Hello, everybody. My name is Gwen, also known as McSherry. You've probably seen me over there to the left or heard my voice on our podcast, Cirque Noir. Look out for it. But now for this game, I get the distinct joy of playing an Eladrin bard. She comes from a long family of druids. And so Willamie just kind of bucked the trend a little bit. She's out there in the world trying to get the feel for being a bard and make a name for herself and maybe get back a little bit of the respect she lost in her family's eyes when she chose this path.
It is a shame when your family doesn't support your musician lifestyle. You know, arts and music, starving lifestyles. I have plenty of parents out there like, don't do that. I know that it's your passion, but if you go after art or music or design, you're not going to live very long. You should be a doctor. You should be a lawyer. Ugh. You should be a Knights Templar or a Hellrider. Anyway, moving right along from there, we're going to Obsidian. Sid, Amy, your turn.
Hi, I'm Amy. I'm at kitten boxing pretty much everywhere that there is a place. And I am playing Sid for this campaign. His full name is Obsidian. He's from Phandalin. He is the first son with, I believe, 9 brothers and sisters of a couple of former heroes. And the former heroes pretty much keep Phandalin pretty safe, and he wants to be do good and be a hero like his parents. So he has struck off on his own finally and come to Elturel and joined the Hellriders to see if he can help people and just, be heroic and stuff.
Helping people and being heroic and stuff. I mean, that's what it's all about, right? Speaking of heroic and wanting to help people and stuff, Valen, Clint, your turn.
Yes, so my character's name is Valen. He is an elf. Valen is a paladin of Sylvanas with the Oath of Ancients. He joined the Hellriders to protect the city, but we're going to slowly find out what happens and how that affects him. He has a dear love who is a human, and it's his world. It's what he loves, and he treasures this person with all of his heart. And so we're going to see what happens, and hopefully he's still alive at the end of this call.
Hopefully he's still alive after everything. What was his name again?
Darian.
Valen's love, Darian. Just need to make sure I keep notes on that in a place I can see it. Nothing terrible will happen to Darian, I'm sure, and we'll see what happens with him and where you go and who you visit. I mean, what's the problem? He's just in hell. I mean, hell's not a difficult place to live in. There's nothing wrong with that.
No biggie.
Moving right along. Marquise, you're playing one person that is also two people. Why don't you explain that a little bit?
Absolutely. Hi, didn't see you there. I'm Marquise, sometimes known as Party Time Online, your internet ex-boyfriend. Don't worry, it ended mutually. I am playing Thulmaris, half-elf rogue. I'm from Baldur's Gate. I happen to work in a lovely little place called Shares's Caress, and I do pretty good work there. And sometimes there's this other person by the name of Inferno who apparently looks like me, but is a lot scarier. So I don't know these accusations, and I don't appreciate them at all. All that really matters is that I have been accused of things that I didn't do, and I would like to clear my otherwise good name.
Of course. And then last but not least, Bennings, lol, brand new to the channel. Welcome.
Thank you. Briff Bennings, he comes from a little rural, farm community, and he's one of about a dozen kids, and he just wants to go out and see the world, and he wants to sort of be a philosopher. Some of his siblings have already gone out, and he's going with his parents' blessing. It's a very wholesome background, full of love and joy, so I'm sure he's going to have his little heart shattered when he finds out what's in the big world. Not sure how he comes to be a part of the Hellriders, probably by accident or the want to help somebody, because Briff is good at heart.
Well, I can't wait to break Bennings. Have Bennings go on beautiful, amazing journeys where he gets to have some good friendships and allies made, and no evil that breaks his poor little heart at all ever happen.
Absolutely.
So, we are, again, doing this from very much Session Zero. We're also a community that enjoys chaos, enjoys a little bit of things to be more based on the idea of fun over studiousness. So at times, I am sure that as a GM, I will break the rules of D&D. Deal with it. In that time, we will just be out having fun. So if you're going to grognard us, you can just shh. Anyway, moving right along from here, we're going to go into character creation now. Inside of Fantasy Grounds Unity, we've got a nice little character wizard. As long as you have everything that you need to make your characters, it'll show up pretty quick and easy. We're going to start in the same pattern that we were before. We'll go through this relatively quickly. We're doing a roll 4d6, drop the lowest, and possibly move some things around and make some adjustments for our stats. So we don't even know what they look like yet. It'll be fun. The first thing that we're going to do is look up our Dragonborn friend here. Dragonborn. So we've got our Gem Dragonborn, and you were which one? An Amethyst, right? All right, and you're muted at the moment. Ability score increases. You have 1
Correct.
+ 2 and 1 + 1. We'll be using those when we go and get your setups done. I'm going to do that for everybody, although I will give Bennings the option of just using the human basics, which gives you +1 to everything if he wants, instead of a +2 and a +1. Technically, that's more stats. What are you going to increase by 2, Brian?
Charisma.
Charisma by 2 and +1. What are you going to increase?
Intelligence.
Intelligence. All right. So you happen to have a breath weapon, of course. Yours is based on what damage? Force damage for you. You have resistance to
Correct.
force damage. You are humanoid. Once you get to 5th level, new stuff comes up. You've got languages choices. You've got common. What language would you like to choose to start with? From Aarakocra, Abyssal, Aquean, Auran, Celestial, Deep Speech, Dechronic, Druidic.
It would be something. It'd be one of the common languages within Baldur's Gate because they're mainly looking at making sure they can talk to their clientele. So I'm assuming it'd be common, Dragonborn, and then one of the major races within Baldur's Gate, external to human.
Elvish.
Elvish is probably the most
I was
common.
thinking Elvish, Dwarvish. I think my background's gonna get more, so I'll probably fill it in.
Yes, sir. So you have a psionic mind. You can send telepathic messages to any creature you can see within 30 feet of you. You don't need to share a language with the creature for it to understand these messages, but it must be able to understand at least one language to comprehend them. You are medium-sized. Your speed is 30. So next up we have your class. You're going with a warlock. Here under name, war. And there we go. Warlock. You have some proficiencies with simple weapons. There is a skill you get to choose. What skill do you want to start with? From Arcana, Deception, History, Intimidation, Investigation, Nature, and Religion.
Hold on. I gotta look at. I gotta double check what I'm getting from my background just to make sure.
Okay. So you don't overlap.
Yeah, I'm just making sure. I know. Let's see. I know I'm gonna get Arcana. I just can't remember if I'm getting it from my background or so I'm getting Insight and Persuasion from my background. I probably would do Arcana and then one of the I forget how many do I get? Do I get 2?
You get 2.
3?
So you have Deception, History,
Arcana, and then
Intimidation.
Deception, most likely.
Deception.
I'd say Arcana and Deception. Yeah.
First level warlock feature, optional spells. Let's see. Otherworldly patron. Your patron is going to be the genie. And
Dow.
you have your pack magic and your spells, which we'll have to go into later when we can actually apply those.
Yeah, I can grab that later.
Yeah, of course. So next up, we've got your ability scores. I'm going to go ahead and run the ability score, roll up real quick. Dice roll manual entry. Here we go. First roll of all the ability scores. It's going to be a big mess. So you've got a 10, 14, 14, 12, 13, and a 5. That 5, I will let you re-roll that 5. There were 2 1s in that. There was actually 3 1s in that, and the 1 was dropped. So
Yep.
So give me 46. Roll that. Drop the lowest, and that'll be your new score. All right. So
10, 14.
14 is better. So we're gonna adjust that to 14.
14, 14, 13, 12, 10.
Okay. So now that we have that adjusted, you have to choose where you want these to go. So how did you want to set up those stats? Because you're at 10, 14, 14, 12, 13, 14. You're pretty middle of the road.
I have 3 14s. Yeah. 14 charisma. I'm gonna do charisma, con for 14s. I'm just doing the 14. So charisma, constitution, and intelligence, just for the sake of the RP.
Okay.
And then
so...
I'll put the 13 in dex. I'll do the 10 in strength. I know I'm jumping around. I'm kind of going order.
10 in strength. What was the one in dex again? Sorry. 13?
13.
All right.
Yeah.
And then
my final one is 12.
Yep. 12 goes over into
Would be
wisdom.
wisdom.
All right. So your final scores here are 10, 13, 14, 15, 12, 16 after your bonuses.
Sounds about right.
Right. Next up, we have your background. What background did you go with?
Courtier.
Courtier. There we are. So that gives you 2 more languages of choice.
Mm-hmm.
Did
So
you
I'll
want?
fill it in. So, what do I have so far? I'm assuming common, dragonborn, and either
And
elvish or dwarvish.
Yeah.
So then I'll do dwarvish and let's say trying to think of another one that'd be around. I was thinking like gnomish or something like
Yeah.
that.
Gnomes, halflings,
Uh,
they're pretty common.
yeah. So I'll also do gnomish. That's
Gnomish.
fine.
All right. Court functionary. Your knowledge of how bureaucracy functions lets you gain access to the records and inner workings of any noble court or government you encounter. You know who the movers and shakers are and whom to go for the favors you seek, and what the current intrigues of interest in the group are. Equipment wise, we are going to go with a starting kit. So, choice one. What type of weapon did you want to start with? You've got club, dart, javelin, quarterstaff, sickle spear, crossbow, great club, light hammer, radiant hammer, silver dagger, dagger, hand axe, make short bow and sling.
So that's a lot more options than I remember there being.
Yeah, if you look on Twitch, you should be able to see the list there too if you want to just
there.
view it.
That would make more sense.
And then
Yeah.
just tell me which one you want.
Yep. So choice one, I will go with a. We'll go for a light crossbow.
Light crossbow. Choice two?
Yeah, we'll just. Let's see. I'm not orb. Wand. Crystal. Why not?
And thanks, McDoyle, for Hey Doyle for the. Thank you,
McDoyle.
Hey Doyle, McDoyle,
McDoyle.
McSherry, Gwen. I saw your name and then I mixed him and yours together, and that's all it was.
It works.
Thank you, Hey Doyle, for the gifted subs. All right. So what was the choice you went with?
Crystal.
The crystal. All right. Choice
We'll
3.
be on theme.
Dungeoneers or Scholars
we'll
Pack?
do scholars.
Scholars Pack. Last choice.
Yep.
And 4 is another weapon.
Yeah, we'll do. Radiant. We'll do silver dagger.
Silver dagger. All right.
Yep.
1 silver dagger for you. You have additional items, things you can buy later. Excuse me.
Yep.
Choking on my own everything. And then, of course, you have 5 gold pieces remaining at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
And your character's name. What's your last name again? Whistler.
It's Hasraya.
R-A-Y-A.
Hasraya.
Whistler Hasraya. All right, we've got your stats in place. We've got everything else there. We're going to hit save. And now we have a character there. Character sheet. Go ahead and choose that character sheet for you. Wow, somebody's banging on stuff outside. But Whistler Hasraya is in the character selection. And
Got
there
it.
you go. And then, of course, I will need to put in the character art for it. I think I've got the portraits in here already. That's the wrong one. That is from... I need the campaign one. Where's the campaign? Campaign, where are you at? 1 second. There we are. I still are. Get in there. And the token. There we are. Okay, we've got your character icon set up now. We've got you in place. We're going on to the next player. Next one in the row is going to be Wulami. It is now your turn. So your race, you went with an Eladrin.
Yes, I did.
Eladrin from Mordenkainen. And you happen to have... Well, all it's giving me is autumn at the moment. No, there's the other ones. Okay. So you get to choose what season you want to be in when you're wanting to be in it, pretty much. If you're staying with spring, when you use your face step, you can touch one willing creature within 5 feet of you. That creature then teleports instead of you, appearing in an unoccupied space of your choice that can see within 30 feet of you. That's an interesting thing. It has to be willing, so you can't just teleport your enemies places.
No, but I can teleport my friends.
True. So what stat increase are you going to bring up by 2?
Charisma for a bard.
And then +1 is going to go where?
Let's go. Let's be a little strange and go with dexterity.
Dexterity. All right. Of course, you are an elf. You're humanoid. You have dark vision. You have advantage on saving throws you make to avoid or end charm condition on yourself. You can face step as a bonus action, magically teleporting up to 30 feet. you happen to get to choose a skill because of keen senses. What is going to be your extra skill? So we got acrobatics, animal handling, arcana, athletics, deception, history, insight, intimidation, investigation, medicine, nature, performance, persuasion, religion, sleight of hand, stealth, and survival.
Let's do sleight of hand, actually.
Sleight of hand. And you get 2 languages to choose. You start with common. You only have 1 language to choose, excuse me. What's your other language going to be?
I'm going to go with Sylvan.
Sylvan. Excellent. All right, those are all of our choices from there. Class-wise, we're going with sorcerer. Sorcerer.
Bard.
Bard. That was silly of me.
But I like that.
Bard. Sorcerer's next. I'm jumping the gun. Bard. There we go. All right. Your level 00 proficiency. You get to choose what type of instrument you will be proficient in. We've got all kinds of them. There isn't one that just says voice, unfortunately.
Which is sad. So we'll throw in. Let's throw in drums just for fun.
All right. You can drum away. Proficiency, again, you get another one. So it looks like you have a few different proficiencies you get to choose for musical instruments. Bagpipes, dulcimer, flute, horn, lute, lyre, pan flute, shawm, and viol.
Lute, I think, will be
Lute.
my other.
And one last one.
3.
I know all the instruments. What is this?
Yeah.
Let's go with the pan flute just for the fun.
All right. So you can drum, you can lute, and you can flute. Good to know. You get 3 skills from your bard choices here: acrobatics, animal handling, arcana, athletics, deception, history, insight, intimidation, investigation, medicine, nature, perception, performance, persuasion, religion, stealth, and survival. So you get to choose 3 of these.
Okay, let's start with animal handling.
Aminal handling. All right.
Exactly.
Aminimals. Next one.
And minimals. Then performance.
You want to be able to play that music. And then the last
I mean,
one.
it helps. And finally, perception, please.
Perception. Excellent. Spells, bardic inspiration, and spellcasting is all listed in there. We're going to go ahead and go to your abilities next. Times to roll it up. We're ready? Big dice. Here we go. Let's see what your stats say. I see a lot of
I'm
middle
okay
of
with
the road.
most of those.
You got an 11, 10, a 10, a 16, an 11, and 11. You're very much
Lots
middle
of
the road with
11s.
that. All right. So I'm assuming you want to move your 16 over to charisma.
Yeah, 16 to charisma. Let's.
So that would make your stats 11,
And 11 in
10.
dexterity.
Yeah, if you were to put an 11 in dex, it'll bring it up to 12, which gives you your modifier.
Yeah, I think that's good.
Okay.
For my dumps, let's go with. I'm gonna say strength.
Okay. That's a 10. What's your other
And-
one?
We could have fun with this. Let's put the other 10 in intelligence.
Intelligence. So you're
She
just
won't be
middle,
bright.
middle of the road, and then 11 on your wisdom and on your constitution. Excellent. So we've got your stats in place now. Background. What background did you choose?
I have to remember.
We got Acolyte, City Watch, Investigator, Clan Crafter, Cloistered Scholar, Courtier, Criminal, Emerald Enclave Agent, Faceless, Faction Agent, Far Traveler, Folk Hero,
I believe I went with scholar, but let me make sure.
Scholar. Cloistered Scholar?
Yes, that is.
Or
what I went with.
sage. Okay.
I went with cloistered scholar.
Okay.
I was debating folk hero and decided against it.
So you gain history, and you get to choose between Arcana, Nature, and Religion.
Let's go religion.
Religion.
That's always useful in hell.
And then you gain 2 more languages of your choice.
Okay. Let's go with. Let's go with gnomish and goblin.
Gnomish and Goblin. All right. Says library access, though others must often endure extensive interviews and significant fees to gain access to even the most common archives in your library. You have free and easy access to the majority of the library, though it might also have repositories of lore that are too valuable, magical, or secret to permit anyone immediate access. You have a working knowledge of your cloister's personnel and bureaucracy, and you know how to navigate those connections with some ease. Additionally, you are likely to gain preferential treatment at other libraries across the realms, as professional courtesy shown to a fellow scholar. It can be helpful in a little place called Candlekeep later, maybe. Anyway, starting supplies. You will have a book, a dagger, an ink, pen, and some ink, leather, just leather scrap, pouches, and parchment already. And
Makes
you now
sense,
get to
makes
make
sense.
a few choices here. You got 3 choices to make. You have 2 weapons, and then you have a diplomat's pack or an entertainer's pack.
Okay, so let us start with.
And you have 1 weapon, excuse me, and a instrument.
Yeah, yeah. I think she's going to go with a short bow. That makes sense.
1 short bow coming right up, and then diplomats or entertainers pack.
Entertainers, please.
And then which one of those random instruments did you want to start with?
Let's start with pan flute.
With the pan flutes. Easy to carry around, easy to hide. They're a nice little thing to have.
I can make
And
drums out of other things. We're fine.
so Willamie, what's your last name?
I hadn't given her one, honestly.
Well, we can go with that one if you'd like.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, you have been created. Feel free to grab your character now and take over it.
Thank you.
Next up on the list, we've got Obsidian. Amy, it is your turn. Race-wise, what did you pick?
Oh, he's a Genasi, baby.
Genasi, Earth Genasi. Ability score increase. We're going with the 1, 2, the 2 and the 1. What is your +2?
Well, gee, guys, guess what? You'll never imagine. It's charisma.
It's charisma. Look at that. And what's your +1?
Let's say dexterity. That makes sense for him.
Dexterity. Creature type, you're a humanoid, you have dark vision, you have earth walking. You can move across difficult terrain without expending any extra movement if you're using your walking speed on the ground or a floor. You'll gain an extra language as well. Which one would you like to add?
Extra language. What would be the funnest of all of the languages that he is surrounded by? Primordial. Let's do primordial.
Primordial language. All right. You can merge with stone. You know the Blade Ward cantrip. You can cast it as normal, and you can also cast it as a bonus action a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus, regaining all expended uses when you finish a long rest. It's a pretty handy thing early game, actually. Your size is either small or medium. Your choice.
Oh, I'm medium.
Medium size. All right. Standard speed and all that. Class-wise, you're the sorcerer. Not the other way around.
Yes.
All right, sorcerer, level 0 proficiency. You happen to have a skill you get to choose. You can use weapons, daggers, darts, swings, slings, blah, blah. Anyway, select a skill, please. From Arcana, Deception, Insight, Intimidation, Persuasion, and Religion.
Let's go with persuasion.
Persuasion. Second skill between Arcana, Deception, Insight, Intimidation, and Religion.
Oh man, insight.
Insight. Somebody who might be able to read people and circumstances. Might be a good idea. Let's see. Sorceress origin. What is your origin?
Wild magic.
Wild magic. Why is it not showing up here?
I don't know.
I don't have it
Mom
on this
wondered through
list.
too much Fair's dress when she was pregnant with me.
All I have is draconic bloodline.
Yeah, it should be in the SRD because it was in the.
It's
Yeah.
not showing for me. Hold on, just a
There's
moment.
some stuff missing because like I was going through my spells and there's this player's handbook stuff that's missing.
Yeah, I noticed that as well.
Oh.
So I might have to reinitialize that to get it to go to finish your character, which we'll
Okay.
probably do after break, and we'll come back to your character
Yeah.
at that point in time and fix it.
Works for me.
I loaded all the
So
modules too, so I don't know.
we shall have to see. Okay, sorry, that one's a bummer. We're gonna start over, and we'll go to the next person. We'll come back to you, Amy. Clint, you are Valen, and you are a
Yes.
elf. So there we go, elf.
What kind of elf?
What type of elf? Are you a dark elf, a high elf, a moon elf, a sun elf, or a wood elf?
Ooh, I like the sound of a moon elf.
You want to be a moon elf?
That sounds fun.
Okay. Moon elf, ability score increases. Your dex increases by 2. That doesn't have to happen. Where do you want your +2 to go? Dex, charisma, constitution, strength, wisdom.
Maybe 1 to dex and 1 to strength.
You're gonna have one is a +2 score and one is a +1 score.
Oh, okay. So +2. Let's do +2 to dexterity.
+2 to dex and +1 to
Let's do strength.
strength.
So I'm gonna be a beefy boy.
And you said you're roughly 200 years of age. Is that correct?
Sure am.
So you actually lived in the time before, back when the city happened to have the companion floating above it, and when it wasn't there and was put in place to protect the city from a vampire lord who was taking over Elturel. Anyway,
Yeah, I remember all too well.
Hashtag vampire lords.
so you gain a cantrip of choice between Acid Splash, Booming Blade, Chill Touch, Dancing Lights, Firebolt, Green Flame Blade, Light, Lightning Lure, Mage Hand, Mending, Message, Mind Sliver, Minor Illusion, Poison Spray, Prestidigitation, Ray of Frost, Shocking Grasp, Sword Burst, and True Strike.
What is booming blade?
That's the one you want.
Yeah, it's really good for Paladin.
Booming blade it is.
We'll just put it in place. You have dark vision. You have elven weapon training, giving you proficiency with long swords, short bows, and long bows. You gain an extra language. So, what is going to be your extra language?
Celestial.
Celestial. You have Fey ancestry, keen senses. You have Common and Elvish already in place. You trance, so you don't actually sleep. You meditate deeply for 4 hours a day, so you don't have to go quite as far sleep-wise. Okay, we're looking at Paladin. There we are. You happen to have a variety of proficiencies, simple martial weapons, all armor and shields are things you can use. You get to choose 2 skills now between athletics, insight, intimidation, medicine, persuasion, and religion.
Let's do insight
Insight
and athletics.
and athletics. Excellent. You have divine sense at level 1. The presence of strong evil registers on your senses like a noxious odor, and a powerful good rings like heavenly music in your ears. As an action, you can open your awareness to detect such forces. Till the end of your next turn, you know the location of any celestial fiend or undead within 60 feet of you that's not behind total cover. You know the type, celestial fiend or undead, of any being whose presence you sense, but not its identity. Within the same radius, you also detect the presence of any place or object that has been consecrated or desecrated. You can use this feature a number of times equal to 1 plus your charisma modifier. When you finish a long rest, it comes back. You can also lay on hands. You can touch and heal wounds. You have a pool of healing power that replenishes when you take a long rest. With that pool, you can restore a total number of hit points equal to your paladin level times 5. As an action, you can touch a creature and draw power from the pool to restore a number of hit points to that creature up to the maximum amount remaining in your pool. So you get to determine how much healing you want to give people when you touch them as well.
Oh, wow.
Alternatively, you can spend 5 hit points from your pool of healing to cure the target of 1 disease or neutralize 1 poison that is affecting it. You can cure multiple diseases and neutralize multiple poisons with a single use of the spell, expending hit points separately for each one. Doesn't work on undead or constructs. All right, it is time for us to roll up your stats. 3, 2, 1. Kerplow. You have got 14 strength, 6 dex. We're going to have you re-roll that one. 14 con, 10 intelligence, 12 wisdom, and 13 charisma. Good stats all around, but you need to re-roll once, so grab 4 d6s and roll them into the panel there. so that we can make sure you don't have a 6.
You said 4 times.
You can right click, if you left, pick it up with left click, and then right click to grab more than one die at a time. Just grab 4.
Well, I
of
mean,
them
just
at one
roll one because
You can do it now. You've already rolled it 3 times, so.
I just left quick to
confused.
figure out how that works too, Clint. Okay, so
Yeah.
I would have done the same
Dang.
thing.
Whew, that is a 16. So you now have a 16 in the space of dex for now. Do you want to keep that in your dexterity, or did you want to move it?
I'll keep it in my dexterity.
Okay, now you have 16, 17. It's a total of 18 dexterity, which is pretty good. I'd recommend not wearing heavy armor. So you have 14 strength, 14 con, 10 intelligence, 12 wisdom, and 13 charisma. Would you like to move any of those around?
Let me pull this up real quick so I can look at it.
Yeah, you can see it on my screen at the moment.
Yeah.
I would switch your charisma and your strength because your +1 will actually bump you up.
I agree.
All right,
Yes,
so
please.
we're going to have a 13 that becomes a 14 in strength. We're going to have a 14 that stays a 14 in charisma. And then are you keeping the other stats where they're at? 14 con, 10, and 12. Pretty good
Yeah,
stats for that. 14, 10, and 12. Okay. So we have you in position for that. Background-wise, what background did you choose? Or have you chosen one yet?
I have not chosen one yet.
All right, we have Acolytes, City Watch Investigator, Clan Crafter, Cloistered Scholar, Courtier, Criminal, Emerald Enclave Agent, Faceless, Faction Agent, Far Traveler, Folk Hero, Harper Agent, Inheritor, Knight of the Order, Lord's Alliance Agent, Mercenary Veteran, Noble, Order of the Gauntlet Agent, Sage, Soldier, Spy, Urban Bounty Hunter, Uthgard Tribe Member, Waterhaven Noble, or Zentrum Agent.
It's hard because I don't know how like most of those mean.
No, they're just
But-
kind of like the background, your part of your history. So if you were an acolyte, then you worked for a religious organization of some kind. If you were part of the City Watch, I mean, that's literally what the Hellriders are. So you could take that.
What's the difference between the City Watch and City Watch Investigator?
An investigator goes after cases and tries to solve crimes and murders, whereas a City Watch protects.
Let's do the Investigator one.
Okay. You have investigation automatically. You get 1 additional skill from the following: acrobatics, animal handling, arcana, deception, history, intimidation, medicine, nature, performance, persuasion, religion, sleight of hand, stealth, or survival.
Let's do survival.
Survival. You'll be the cook for the crew. 2 more languages of choice. What 2 languages would you like?
2 more. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
We have
Can I
Aarakocra, the language of the bird people. Abyssals,
Let's
which
do
are
it.
like demons.
I love birds.
Aquans for the water individuals. Orin, deep speech, draconic, druidic, dwarvish. Draconic. You want draconic?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you have 1 other language to choose from. So continuing from where we were, we have dwarvish, giant, gnomish, goblin, halfling, ignan, which are the fire people, infernals, orcs, primordials, sylvan, terran, thieves' cant, and undercommon. You might have learned infernal, being in the city that had to deal with the occasional demon incursion.
Right. I like the bird people one.
You want to do Aarakocra?
Yeah.
Oh man, you can, but it would be really cool if you learned Infernal.
It's okay. I have it. It's okay. I have it.
Anybody learned Infernal would
have
be
it.
really neat.
All right, you have Watcher's Eye. Your experience in enforcing the law and dealing with lawbreakers gives you a feel for local laws and criminals. You can easily find the local outpost of a watch or similar organization, and just as easily pick out the dens of criminal activity in a community, although you're more likely to be welcomed in the former location rather than the latter. All right, starting kit here. You happen to have a chainmail already, a horn, manacles, and a pouch. And you get to choose from these weapon choices I have on the screen, 3 of them. So let's start. If you can see those there, you've got choices of different types of weapons you can begin with. We had stated you were interested in a sword and shield, potentially.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So longsword?
Yeah, longsword's not the two. It's not the two-handed, right?
No, longswords
Okay.
can be two-handed. They're versatile, but they are a one-handed weapon.
And there's a small longsword, right?
There is a small longsword, yes.
Let's just do just regular longsword.
Okay. Second choice of weapon, you
We'll
have.
do a shield.
Well, it's another weapon choice from here. No shield at the moment.
Oh. Let's do the short longsword.
All right. And then you have one third choice: club, hand axe, mace, sickle, dagger, javelin, quarterstaff, silver dagger, great club, light hammer, radiant hammer, or spear.
Wait? When do I get my? I'm sorry. When do I get the shield?
You'll have it as part of equipment that we give you.
Oh, okay. I'm just making sure. Um, let's get a silver dagger. That sounds bomb.
There you go. Do you want an explorer's pack or a priest's pack?
Priests.
Priest's pack. And you can have a choice of an amulet, an emblem, or a reliquary.
An amulet.
You have an amulet. Okay. And we're going to give you a shield.
I'm
There you go.
packing.
You are packing indeed. Okay, Valen, what's your last name?
Um. That's okay. I didn't think about this one.
He is such an eternal force. He forgot his own name after so much time.
200 years will do a lot to your memory. That's all I gotta say.
Valen.
Make it-
Winterhelm.
Winterhelm. All right, there we go. Valen Winterhelm, your character has been created. Please open the characters section and choose them. And that is you.
Character selection.
Excellent. Well, first roll of Valen's that I made was a 20, so that's good. All right, next up.
Listen real quick. I don't know where that's at. I'm
So
clicking.
on the right hand side, there's a section that says Tool, Library, Player, Campaign, Character. Do you see that?
Yes.
It's a big menu. Open up the one that says Player, and Characters is the first choice there.
Okay.
You'll open that, and then you'll choose your character. It'll be listed there. Then you're good.
Thank you.
You're welcome, sir. All right. So you are a half elf. Half elf. There we are. Ability score increase. What's your +2 going to be?
Dexterity.
Dexterity. What's your +1 going to be?
Intelligence.
Intelligence. What is your third +1 going to be?
Oh, let's put that one in wisdom.
Wisdom. Half elves. Language choice. You have Elvish and Common already.
Yep.
And the third one is
Infernal.
Infernal. All right. You gain proficiency in 2 skills of your choice with skill proficiency, skill versatility rather. What 2 are you going to take?
Perception and investigation.
Perception and investigation. All right. So that's that. I think I'm missing something. No. Good. All right. Going on to class. You are a rogue, not a rouge.
I know. It's so every time people misspell it, it kills me.
It drives me nuts. I played a World of Warcraft character that was a rogue, and the amount of times I heard rouge, need a rouge to unlock a box over and over again drove me nuts. Okay, proficiencies. You get 4 other proficiencies to choose from.
Sleight of hand.
Sleight of hand. Next one.
Stealth.
Stealth. Next one.
Acrobatics.
Acrobatics. And last one.
Insight.
Insight. You have level 1 expertise. At first level, you choose 2 of your skill proficiencies, and you double your bonus on them.
Perception and insight.
Perception and insight. So insight. It won't allow us to do perception. It's either acrobatics, sleight of hand, stealth, or thieves' tools.
Okay, the easy fix would be if you put go back up and switch out acrobatics for perception.
Mm-hmm.
And then put acrobatics under the half elf one.
Right. We'll need to pop back over to race to do that. bear with us, everyone. So you wanted perception to be on there, right? And
Yep.
that one's going to be acrobatics instead.
Mm-hmm.
Move here. We're going to go here. We're going to go perception acrobatics. We're going back to class. We're going to choose that. Make it back to perception. And then we should be able to... There we go, perception. Excellent. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thieves' Cant. What language? Let's see. During your rogue training, you learn Thieves' Cant. In addition, you understand a set of secret signs and symbols used to convey short, simple messages, such as whether an area is dangerous, blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
So
Go ahead
this
and pick
just
that
gives
Thieves'
you
Cant.
Thieves' Cant. Okay.
Yep.
Abilities-wise, time for your roll. Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Oh boy.
Boom. You got 10, 16, 13, 15, 16, 13. Whew. That's a good spread.
Hell yeah. So let's put one of the 16s in. Oh, I already have dexterity. Can we move? Nope. Leave that 15 there. The 13 in. Oh goodness, because I put the other one in wisdom, right?
Yeah. The current stats with your bonuses are 10, 18, 13, 16, 17, 13. It's a pretty damn good split for a rogue.
I don't think there's any reason to move anything.
Yeah. All right. We'll keep it as is. Excellent.
I would just move the +1 at that point.
What is your background?
Faceless.
Faceless, right. That's a custom, not a custom. That is a background that comes with Descent to Avernus.
Yes.
And what is a bonus language of your choice for being faceless?
Abyssal.
Abyssal. Excellent. You have dual personalities. Most of your fellow adventurers in the world know you as your persona. Those who seek to learn more about your weaknesses, your origins, your purpose find themselves stymied by your disguise. Upon donning a disguise and behaving as a persona, you are unidentifiable as your true self. By removing your disguise and revealing your true face, you are no longer identifiable as your persona. This allows you to change appearances between your two personalities as often as you wish, using one to hide the other or serve as convenient camouflage. However, should someone realize the connection between your persona and your true self, your deception might lose its effectiveness. Okay, starting kit of equipment. You've got clothes. We've got the 2 daggers. I'm going to say those are your fan blades. You have a disguise kit, leather pouch, and thieves' tools to start with. You get to choose between a rapier and rapier and short sword.
So do the burglar's pack and then short bow, and we'll just say the rapier.
Short
It won't
bow
get used much, but yeah.
and the rapier. All right, so you just have those. You can sell them later or something. It doesn't really matter.
Exactly.
Okay, we have you here, and Dolmaris, Inferno. I'm just gonna. It's too long to go with like a last
Yeah.
name. You have one of those. Go ahead and choose your character now, and you've got that one all set. Who do you want me to use the art for the character icon as? I don't think we should change it all the time.
Dolmaris most of the time.
Okay.
Mm-mm-mm.
All right. Next up, and then we'll come back to you later after the break, Amy, so we can figure that out. Bennings, Lowell, your turn. So we are starting with you. Your race is human, right?
Yes, sir.
You didn't decide to go with that gnome or the halfling thing that you were thinking about before?
Listen, we're gonna keep it simple. I think that's a necessity here.
All right. So you have +1 to all your abilities in this at the moment, so we can go with that, unless you'd rather have a +2 to one and a +1 to another.
No,
By the
no.
way, just to state it, your background's not there, but you don't have the module.
Which background is that one?
Athlete. It's under the module of Odyssey of Theros.
Well, I'd have to pick up
It's
at the
okay.
time.
I guess I can just switch it. I was really attached to that one.
All right, languages. You speak Common. Give me a second language that you'd like to speak.
What's the next most useful one?
In the city that you're in, probably Elvish.
I'll take it.
Where would poor old Bennings have learned Elvish?
He had a neighbor. And he used to help them plow their fields or something.
Just learned all the curse words first and then moved on from there.
Naturally.
All right, so you're a fighter. Your proficiency to start with, you can use all weapons, all shields, all armor. Pretty nice. You have 2 skills to choose from between acrobatics, animal handling, athletics, history, insight, intimidation, perception, and survival.
we're gonna go acrobatics and perception.
Acrobatics and perception. Level 1, you're going to get to choose a fighting style. You could either go archery, defense, dueling, great weapon fighting, protection, or two-weapon fighting.
I'm gonna go great weapon fighting. That's like two-handed stuff, right?
Yeah, if you're using two-handed weapons, whenever you roll a 1 or 2 on your damage die, you can re-roll, and you use the new roll for the damage.
Yeah, he's a two-handed guy. I don't need to mess around with shields.
All right. You have second wind at level 1. You have a limited well of stamina you can draw on to protect yourself from harm. On your turn, you can use a bonus action to regain hit points equal to 1d10 plus your fighter level. It is a short rest to recharge that. So if you need health, you just need a second wind. Give yourself a little bit of a pep, and then you keep going. Time to roll up your stats. Here we are in 3, 2, 1. So, you are at a 14, 7. Oof. That's got... That doesn't have 2 1s. I'm going to leave it up to a vote.
Okay.
Audience, not the audience. Our crew here. Who says he should re-roll a 7? Because 6 is pretty much the normal roll. At 4 people. And, of course, Marquise does not. All right. Your hand was off screen. I couldn't see it. So the way you were sitting, it was in a way that I was like, okay,
Whoops.
okay, cruel. All right, give me 46s as a roll.
Oh, no, I voted for it.
And we'll use the new roll instead. Hopefully
Check
you don't
this
get...
out, Clint. First time.
All right, we
Well,
got
that looks like
9,
shit,
10, 11.
too.
You got an 11
Oh.
instead of a 7 there.
Okay.
Okay, so stats breakdown. You've got 14 strength, 11
Yes.
dexterity, 13 con, 15 intelligence, 13 wisdom, and 10 charisma. Where would you like to move these around?
Yeah, he doesn't need to be that smart. Let's put that intelligence to work in strength.
All right, so that's 15. Where are you going to move the 14 from strength over to?
You should
Dexterity?
keep the 14th in strength and put it in, like, a different one.
I'm sorry, Marquise. Is this your character?
Listen, you can make whatever choices you want. Just for somebody here.
so
But
sorry.
if you want to get smart with somebody, I'll tell you that.
He has the 15 in strength, though. He has +1 to it, so that'll give him his modifier increase automatically.
I guess we just slap that in intelligence. I don't know.
You want to put the 14 in intelligence?
Yeah, you know, he's handy sometimes.
Okay.
Put it in charisma to make it less.
He's not charismatic, okay? He's a farm boy. He can barely speak Elvish, all right? He just knows how to insult you.
All right, so that becomes a 12 there. All right, so you have a 13, and a 10 left.
13, and 10.
Mhm.
One of those is perception a stat.
No, wisdom is where perception lies, though.
Let's load that up then.
So 13 wisdom, that becomes a 14. You have constitution and charisma left, so you have a 14 or a 13 and a 10 left.
Put the 10 in charisma and then the other one in constitution.
All right, so that makes that one a 14. So your stats are as follows: 16 strength, 12 dexterity, 14 constitution, 15 intelligence, 14 wisdom, and 11 charisma. Not a terrible breakdown either, honestly.
I'm surrounded by charismatic people. He doesn't need to be charismatic. All you fuckers are.
There are 4 faces in this party. They really are.
Just saying, like, if we
Not
have
wrong.
the stat, it's fine.
All right, Bennings. What is your background between Acolyte, City Watch Investigator, Clan Crafter, Cloistered Scholar, Courtier, Criminal, Emerald Enclave, Agent, Faceless, Faction Agent, Far Traveler, Folk Hero, Harper Agent, Inheritor, Knight of the Order, Lord's Alliance
Hold on.
Agent.
Folk hero.
You can be Folk Hero? That's
Yeah, right?
perfect. All right. Folk Hero, you're going to choose a tool of proficiency. You know how to use vehicles, by the way. As a Folk
cool.
Hero, which might be helpful in Avernus because there are cars there. Anyway, select the tool proficiency. Are you good with alchemist supplies, brewer's supplies, calligraphers, carpenters, cartographers? Carpenter's tools? All right.
Yes.
And you have rustic hospitality. Since you come from the ranks of the common folk, you fit in among them with ease. You can find a place to hide, rest, or recuperate among other commoners unless you have shown yourself to be a danger to them. They will shield you from the law or anyone else searching for you, though they will not risk their lives for you. So people will take you in because they think you're a cool guy, and they've heard about you probably, one way or another.
Nice.
All right, starting kit-wise, you happen to have clothes, a iron pot to piss in, pouch, and shovel, and then you get to choose a few other things here. So
I think I'm good with just my pot, you know? Like,
that's all you
what
need,
more is
just the
needed?
pot. So you have carpenter's tools, I'm assuming, as a carpenter. You get to choose between chainmail or leather armor. What would you prefer? Chainmail's better for those with higher
I was gonna
strength
say,
and dex.
chainmail. He's a beefy boy.
All right, and then you get to choose a weapon. We got battle axe, crossbow, great axe, lance, longsword, net, scimitar, trident, whip, blowgun, flail, greatsword, longbow, maul, pike, shield, war pick, hand crossbow, glaive, halberd, longsword, morningstar, rapier, short sword, and warhammer.
Oh, is the warhammer two-handed?
Yes.
Then I want that.
All right, we're gonna flavor that as pieces of a fence post you've made into a large hammer. I think was that what the idea was?
Hell
You do get another couple choices of weapons, so you could have some backup stuff. Would you like to have just like a net you carry around?
He once fished, so you know, in his village. I'll
right.
take a net. Yeah.
So you have a net. You could choose a hand axe or a crossbow.
Ooh, hand axe.
That's good for splitting wood, for cleaning things up. Do you have a
Splitting
Dungeoneer's
skulls.
pack or an Explorer's pack? Do you plan on going underground or overground mostly?
Oh well, we're going to hell, right? That's pretty much.
I mean, you don't
isn't
know
it?
you're going to hell, though, so...
Okay, I'll just take it anyway and
Okay.
say that his perception is so good.
He was very much aware of it before it even happened. And there we go for Briff Bennings.
Hell yeah.
Briff has now been saved. You can click on him under characters and you can choose him. And then...
How? Where?
So on the right hand side, there's a little a player tab. Open that, click on characters. And then you'll see a list of characters pop up that are available. And there you go. You now have your character. You can take a look at the sheet. You can see a variety of details upon that sheet. And you can double click your stats to like roll your saves to roll those. You've got your health. You've got tabs on the side. It shows you where your skills are when you need to make certain types of skill rolls. Abilities, inventory, notes. I'd recommend keeping notes on your character or writing things down on those for them. While alignment's not necessarily going to be something that we adhere to strongly, we do want you to write down what a general alignment is in case of spells that might, affect you one way or another.
Oh, he's good.
So, with that, there are a few things we'll need to do, of course. Actions, the very last tab on your sheet, by the way, is where you'll find your weapons and spells and things like that. So, just be aware of that situation.
Okay.
And let's see, which one are we doing here? No, we're not.
Wait. It says my warhammer is one-handed.
You can use it
Oh,
one
wait.
or two-handed.
Okay, never mind. Sorry.
You click on do you see the little thing where it says the hand icon? If you click on that, you can say if you're using it one-handed or two-handed. See, now it's
Oh,
two-handed.
two-handed.
Mhm.
Nice.
If it's a
cool.
versatile item, you can use them two-handed.
Huh. Okay.
Let's see. And how do we
Oh,
choose
God.
the right... I'm just curious, because I haven't used this module before, so I know we have the second wind there. I guess we're just re-rolling whenever you roll poorly on your attacks. So if you were to roll and you hit, and then you would roll this. Let's see, you didn't roll a 1, so it's fine. Okay. So we are going to take a short break while I go and figure out what's going on with our modules here, and we're going to come back and finish up Amy's character. And then we're going to jump into the session 0 intro roleplay session. There won't be any maps for this or any spectacular visuals, but we will still be making a few rolls here and there and doing some roleplaying. So thank you very much, audience, for watching, and we will see you back here in 10-15 minutes or so. Goodbye, everybody. Hello, everyone. We're back earlier than anticipated, because we like to be surprising and chaotic and make you all probably not even get back from what you're doing and not actually be here and all of that. So anyway, all of our cameras are off. Hold on.
Oh yeah, that is weird.
The most chaos.
There we go.
Yeah.
Should be back now. Hello.
Starting.
See? We're still here, I swear. We have arrived. We've returned. So where we left off, Amy was making their character. We're going with a genasi. That is an earth genasi. Did it do it again? I think it did it again. Yep. So now, Discord has decided that if I pull up another program, that it no longer wants to show our faces at all.
Oh.
Oh, that's not nice.
Love that.
I hate it
Well.
when that happens. That's delightful. That's definitely the way we want things to be. That's fine. We got it fixed. So we're going with an Earth Genasi, Genasi, and you were gonna go Charisma. And what was your second? Your +1?
Oh shoot. Oh, it was dexterity.
Dexterity. Okay. And language. What was your alternate language you wanted to speak?
Primordial.
Primordial. And you were medium size. There we go. Class this time. We'll go back over. Sorcerer. There we are. And we happen to have 2 skills. Which ones did you want? You have Arcana, Deception, Insight, Intimidation, Persuasion, and Religion.
I believe it was persuasion and insight that I picked.
Persuasion and Insight. And then your Sorcerer's Origin is Wild Magic. They are
Yay!
fun. All of us are going to turn into penguins.
Uh-huh.
As it should be.
Level 1, you have Tides of
Chaos.
Chaos. You can manipulate the forces of chance and chaos to gain advantage on a 1 attack roll, ability check, or saving throw. Once you do so, you must finish a long rest before you can use this feature again. Anytime you regain the use of this feature, the DM can have you roll on the Wild Magic Surge table immediately after you cast a sorcerer's spell of 1st level or higher. You then regain the use of this feature. So once per turn, the DM can have you roll a d20 immediately after you cast a sorcerer's spell of 1st level or higher. If you roll a 1, Wild Magic Surges occur, and then we have to deal with that nonsense. It'll be delightful. Next up, we have our dice roll. Here we go. You have a 13, 15, 11, 9, 18, and 15.
Hell yeah.
That is a
I was
pretty
certain I was-
good...
Going to do badly.
No, not at all. Your intelligence is the lowest thing you have here at the moment with a 9, but overall stats, you've got a good spread here, and you have the highest single stat roll we've had in the game so far.
Mm-hmm.
So, where do you want to move things around to?
Definitely put that 18 in charisma, please.
A +5 at level 1 isn't bad.
No, it is not. And I get to move 2 of them around, right?
I can just move them all. I don't care. I wasn't really holding on to that roll.
Okay.
So move the 18.
Can I put it? I would like a 15 in Constitution.
Good choice. Health is nice. You have one more 15?
Oh, whatever. Dex? No, it's already in Dex.
Mhm.
Uh,
I mean, you can leave it there.
No.
That's fine.
oh God. Strength.
You're going to put 15 in strength. All right. So then you have a 13 and 11, 9 left. 13, 11, and 9.
Oh, okay. I actually lied. I want my 15 in Wisdom.
In wisdom. Okay.
And then I'll put my 9 can stay in Intelligence.
Okay. 9 intelligence.
And
So you still have an 11 and a 13.
yeah. So oh no, my brain stopped.
No, you put the
well-
13 in dex. That would use your +1 you had on that to make it a 14, which would give you
Yeah,
the
let's
bonus.
do that.
And then that leaves your 11 for your strength.
Yeah.
Okay. Background wise, let's see. What background did you go with?
Inheritor.
Inheritor. All right, Inheritor. You happen to have a skill of choice of Arcana, History, or Religion.
Arcana.
Arcana. Proficiency. You have a tool proficiency of bagpipes, dice set, dragon chest, drum, dulcimer, or flute. Well, actually, any of the musical instruments. Playing card set, 3 dragon ante, or the viol.
Dice.
Be good with dice. All right, language. You have one more language of choice. What would you like that to be?
Can it be Thieves' Cant?
No, it says it's an option that's available. Where would you have learned Thieves' Cant?
My daddy. He made sure all of his children knew Thieves' Cant.
I'll allow that. Inheritance. Choose or randomly determine your inheritance from among the possibilities on the table below. Work with your dungeon master to come up with the details. Let's see what our inheritance is. Do you want to roll randomly, or do you have one in mind?
What's on the table?
We got documents, a trinket, an article of clothing, jewelry, arcane book or formulary, a written song, story, poem, or secret, or a tattoo or other body marking.
I guess it would count as a trinket.
Okay. So, what is your trinket?
For the audience, his parents went through the Out of the Abyss campaign, and his mother has a chunk of Gratz's horn that she made into a necklace.
Nice. Okay. So, trinket made from a horn. You've got it on your character, and I'll use that later, I'm sure.
Oh, please do.
Next up, your equipment choices. So you're already starting with 2 daggers, a pouch, and traveler's clothes. What weapon do you wish to start with?
What do I got?
You got club, dart, javelin, quarterstaff, sickle, spear, light crossbow, great club, light hammer, radiant hammer, silver dagger, dagger, hand axe, mace, short bow, and sling.
I already have 2 daggers. Let's do quarterstaff.
Quarterstaff. You don't want to be one of the murder cults members from Baldur's Gate 3 that have like 15 daggers on them anytime you destroy one. And
I mean, his dad would prefer if he did that, but no.
All right. Choice 2 is one of these items: an amulet, an orb, a staff, component pouch, rod, wand, crystal, or scepter.
Let's go with God, it would be so cool if he like old school had a wand. I want a wand. Give him a wand.
All right, he has a wand. And you have a Dungeoneer's pack or an Explorer's pack?
Explorer's pack.
Okay. So we got the basics there. And Obsidian, what's your last name?
All of his family is just one names.
One
so
names
there
only,
isn't
okay.
one. Yep.
All right, your character is now available. You can choose to grab them. And we can go from there. So, the one thing that I need to be a little more familiar with myself is, in Fantasy Grounds, how we use our spell books to put things on people's sheets and adjust as necessary. Has anybody used this particular module?
I was trying to figure that out.
I'm going to look at some of our casters here and see what we can find. So spell casting, spell slots and whatnots, spell casting ability. That just shows you how to do that part, but it doesn't actually put any of the spells on there. There we go. So it's under actions. That's where your spells are at. And you would hit add item and you'd put in what it was. But I think we can actually drag and drop spells here rather than making our own. Although we could make our own if we really wanted to, but that's enough work for a different thing. I don't want to do that. Let me see if I can find the spell list here. Spells. There we go. So I've got like a list. I can just drag and drop them. So if you're in spells, let me see if I can find where that's at. It's under character at the bottom. Okay, so on the right hand side, you got tool, library, player, campaign, character is the bottom one. Under that, that's where you can see feats, where you can see skills, where you can see spells. If you pull up spells, you can grab the spell that you want, that you have available, and you will just drag and drop it onto your actions section under spells, and that will put it on your sheet for you. So, of course, this requires that you know what spells you have. If you pull up your class under classes, and you go to the class details for your character. Say if we were going to go with our paladin friend here. Let's see. What do you have early
None.
spell-wise? None? Nothing at this level?
He
Blade.
doesn't get spell casting until 2.
Right. Spellcasting begins level 2 for you. Let's go with... Sorcerer would probably be the one that's always going to have spells at the beginning. Warlock as well. So... no sorcery points yet. I'm just trying to see how this layout works. So you've got 4 cantrips known, 2 spells known of first level. Is there a place that's easy to see those particular spells? Can we just choose? You can choose by level. So we could go level 0. And under that, doesn't have a breakdown for class. That's what frustrates me a little bit. So you have to know which spells are yours. Or
Oh, okay.
I would
let me
recommend
just-
using a... oh no, there we go. Okay, where it says source in spells, you can click on
Oh, okay.
that, and you can go down and choose Bard or Cleric or Paladin or Sorcerer or Warlock.
It is
okay,
not
thanks.
giving me like a It is just coming up with a little blank thing.
Yeah.
So let me go through this. So level 0. So can anybody see on my screen right now using Twitch what it looks like? I'm bringing it over there now. And do you see
It's
the...
just so tiny on your screen.
well,
know?
you gotta just like put your face right against the screen. You
I
don't have to worry
did,
about
but-
this, Briff. You happen to be
Listen,
a fighter.
there
You
are-
have no magic. You have 0
There are
magic.
7 people
No
here.
magic
okay?
whatsoever.
5 of us are wearing glasses. This is not going to go well.
All right. There are other resources online. I mean, honestly, you could go look up just which ones you have. Tell me which ones they are. We can just put them on your sheet using, one of the other multitudes of 5e class breakdown lists that are everywhere else, all wikis and things like that.
Yeah.
But that would be something we would definitely want to do just to make sure everybody has all their characters fully set up. Like, what abilities do you want to have? You have 4
Well, that's
4 cantrips yourself. So, Sid, you have the choices of Acid Splash, Blade Ward, Booming Blade, Chill Touch, Dancing Lights, Firebolt, Friends, Green Flame Blade, Light, Lightning Lure, Mage Hand, Mending, Message, Minor Illusion.
Oh yeah. I've got a list here.
Okay.
So I get 4 of them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's do Acid Splash,
Okay.
Dancing Lights,
Mm-hmm.
do do do. Do 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 do. Shocking Grasp should be fun, and Mage Hand.
Shocking Grasp and Mage Hand. And you get 2 level 1 spells.
Okay, let's see here.
Chaos Bolt.
What?
Chaos Bolt.
Ooh, critical hit.
Oh, I don't have Chaos Bolt in my thing. What's Chaos Bolt do?
It is an attack roll spell that allows you to choose. Well, you roll to choose the damage type
It's
of the spell.
not in my current options, unfortunately, so I don't have it
Dang.
built in here. At the moment.
Okay. Let's see.
It's Anasar's Guide to Everything, so I'm not sure if you have that module.
I don't have that module in here at the moment. There's too many
Yeah.
modules for a VTT like this. I mean, we could build it by hand.
What?
Boring.
I mean, I could spend a couple $100 more on this if you all want.
Yeah, that's the main problem with it.
Chop
But
change.
it's
Ooh. Can I do Expeditious Retreat?
Absolutely. Okay. And your other one?
And gosh. So many spells, so little time.
At least you're not a wizard.
Let's do Witch Bolt.
Witch Bolt it is. Expeditious Retreat and Witch Bolt. So you're all set with your spells for now. We're going to look at who else might have spells. Do we have bard spells at this level?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I'm making them work.
You're already doing them?
Yep, I think.
Excellent. Light,
I
message,
believe so.
color, spray, command, cure wounds, feather, fall, and sleep. Nice. The only other person that we need to worry about spells with at the moment, is Brian. Do you have your spells set up already?
yeah, I got everything.
Excellent. What do we have for you?
I manually put in Hex. Yeah.
Eldritch, Prestidigitation, Hex, Charm Person, and Sanctuary. All perfect. Excellent.
Yep.
Okay. So the character sheets are built at this point in time. Hooray! Everybody cheer! Let's.
Yay!
Yay!
Hell yeah!
Ah!
Hey.
That was weird.
Okay. That'll teach me to eat a bunch of Mike and Ike's while I'm on air and talking. So, with everybody's characters in place, we're going to move on to our little intro to the game. We're planning on wrapping up in about an hour and a half at the most still. And we'll be running this game every other week. So not next Saturday, but the following, and then the following again. Most of our content here on Roll for Chaos is bi-weekly at the moment because who the hell has time to do anything fun anymore in life? But we try, and we very much enjoy ourselves. So we are going to open this scene to kind of develop where our characters are at and where they're going from. When we actually start the game in session 1, we'll be jumping up to level 2, which we'll do off the air as we move towards that game for next week. So we have Valen and Sid and Marcus. You're standing there wearing your Hellriders regalia, decently armored, walking about the grounds outside of Elturel, the major city. You're walking on a lot of the trade routes that come into the town. So on your patrol, what does it look like? Are you like a steadfast leader type, Valen? Are you someone who kind of argues or tells people what to do a lot? Do you argue with your members? Are you training them in something? What is it that Valen does as a leader in this group with 2 apprentices?
I think Valen, he has a sense of like emotional understanding about himself. He cares about people, but he holds himself in a confident manner that people know to respect him, not only because of his rank, but also of being an elf, and having the wisdom of being alive for a long time. So I think he would bring a sense of just he wants to work with people. He wants to be in it's a team thing. It's not me just telling people what to do, but it's working with the people I'm with.
Yeah, of course. So we see you striding with the other 2 in tow behind you up a moderately sized pathway, rutted wagon wheels, kind of grooved, some areas in the ground where they travel consistently. Around you, there is a beautiful forest at the edges of the road, Eltergard itself is a land that's rather pretty and pristine. It exists not too far from the coast, but far enough away that you're not hit by massive rainstorms and weather that constantly batters the coast at times. It is a sunlit and beautiful afternoon as the three of you were walking along your pathway. There are reports that there was a merchant out here that had been hassled for a bit of their goods from individuals on the sides of the roads. Rumor or not, you're worried that maybe there was some sort of altercation. Maybe there's a group that's preying on travelers or those that are too weak to protect themselves, or even those that are traveling that are so close to the city that nobody would dare actually assault and accost them now, would they? So as the three of you were kind of marching off in this direction, Marcus is like complaining a little bit as he tried to dig a rock out of his shoe that is climbed up inside of there. Oh, man, Valen, can we hold on for a second? He like puts a arm out onto your shoulder, just bracing himself against you without asking. Oh, I got this something in here. I can't quite reach it. Obsidian, would you mind unlacing my boots? I can't quite pull them off right, and I'm pretty sure it got in there good. Oh my.
Sure, man. He's kind of like, he doesn't want to be a dick, but he is definitely looking at him like, you can't just sit down and unlace your own boot, but okay, sure, we'll do this.
Marcus was put, you know this, Phelan, but Marcus was put under your care because of his noble family lineage and the prestige that comes with being a Hellrider from the very beginning. You've had your doubts about him on occasion, but yeah, he seems a little bit lazy. He's kind-hearted, but he seems a little lazy. And he just looks over to Obsidian, who's like starting to unlace the boots, and he goes, "Oh yeah, just like that. All right, hold still." And he like continues bracing himself on your shoulder, Valen.
He's getting way more out of this than either of the two of you guys.
All right, and then as you like pull his boot, punk, and it comes off, you see a small stone just kind of move out of there. Obviously, his feet were unwashed this morning, and he carried something with him into his shoes.
Hey, when I pull his boot off, can I do a sneaky move and throw it away, but pretend like it was an accident?
Give me a sleight of hand roll, please.
Oh, man. That's skills.
Yep, skills tab, sleight of hand. Just double click in the little place where your bonuses are. Should be in alphabetical order. Oop. There's the roll. Ooh, 19. So, oops, and the boot just kind of boom, 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 rolls off the side of the little trail you're at and gets lost into some of the brush off to the side. And he goes,
"That's unfortunate.
What happened? What do you?"
I don't know. It just
he's
the
like
force,
hopping.
when it slipped off, it just flew off, man.
Well,
Did Valen notice this?
Give me an investigation roll.
Which die am I using, Tyson?
So you will just go onto your character sheet and you click skills on the skill tab, and then just go down to where investigation is, and off to the right where the +2 is, just double click in that square.
I'm double clicking. There we go.
There you are, and you got a 10. I'm gonna say you didn't notice that it wasn't an accident. It did look like an accident.
Oh, man, I guess you're just gonna have to go get it.
I can't do that. Look, the road is gross, and I don't want more rocks in my shoes, okay? Could you just go over there and grab...
You just dust your feet off before you put your shoes on.
I don't do that. Other people do that.
Well, now you do that, because there's nobody else here for you to do that.
But you're here. Aren't you just an assistant?
No, I'm a person.
I don't understand.
You were
Not
very
everybody
capable.
that isn't in your family is an assistant.
Look, Valen,
You
you're
need
a
equal.
Hellrider and you're a veteran, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So that makes the two of us your assistants, right?
No. No.
No.
No.
You are more than capable of getting your boot.
Fine. He like takes a couple of steps off the road. Gross.
Step on that
Oh,
thistle.
grass feels awful, he says as he walks off into the debris to the side.
Just looks at Valen like, I love grass. What's wrong with this person?
So you stand there waiting for Marcus to come back after getting his boot and like scrubbing angrily at his own pant leg to get the dust off before he pulls his boot back on. Then he looks over to you. Well, are you gonna help me tie it?
Okay, here. Do you know how to tie your shoes?
Of course, I know how to do a lot of things. But
Okay,
I'm
you can tie your shoe then.
I am
You can tie your shoe.
I am unpracticed at this particular thing and could see how it's done in a more professional way.
I was just gonna say, have a seat with me, and I will show you how to tie the shoe. I mean, help you practice how to tie the shoe.
Oh, of course, practicing. Yes. Ah,
Yes,
thank you.
have a seat.
He comes and he sits down on a little stump next to where you're at.
So yeah, he helps him practice how to tie his boots, as patiently as possible.
Mm-hmm. Valen, in the meanwhile, what are you doing as the two of them are working on soft skills?
I think Valen is well, I think Valen's a little disappointed in this dude, but I think he recognizes that Obsidian did a good job of kind of mentoring him. So I just kind of feel like I continue up just a little bit, looking around, investigating further, just to make sure everything's the way it should be.
All right, if you give me an investigation check. And Sid, if you will write down somewhere on a notes, you have a +1 on your next roll from our audience.
Ooh.
All right. Investigation roll comes out. And that is a 19. Excellent. So, stepping a little bit ahead of everyone else, you happen to notice a little bit of a disturbance in the grasses off the side of the path, not too far ahead. And as you move over to there, you can see that there are boot prints that kind of go in every which way. You can tell that there's a little bit of cast off, an old bag that seemed to have had some sort of something grainy inside of it that has all been taken away and emptied out. You can see that there's a small bit of dirt that has a brownish color even under the sunlight that appears to be sticky, some sort of blood droplet might have been there. Someone tried to clear up something here but was in a hurry when they left. And you can see that there are wagon wheel marks, relatively new ones, that seem to have stopped nearby here at one point. You think you've found the site of where the altercation occurred. You can tell that there is a bit of a trail that leads off into the woods not too far from here. What do you do with that information?
Yeah. Well, call them over there with me to kind of investigate further of what happened.
Okay. So, Valen, call them over. What do you say?
I feel like I wouldn't say, hey, guys. I don't know.
Hey, guys!
Also, keep in mind that Valen is British, isn't he?
Oh, I think I'm kind of walked away from that. Hey, I think I found what where this altercation was. You guys should come check this out with me.
Marcus stands up, like testing his foot. All right, what do we look for? He like walks over to where you're at and steps directly in the middle of the scene.
You're stepping in it.
Oh, sorry. I'm just gonna back up a little bit here. He just looks intently at the ground. Dirt and old bags. What are we looking for?
Can I do an investigation or perception
Yeah.
to see what I see?
So Valen's already investigated the area and can tell what has occurred here, but I will have you make a perception roll.
Okay. Do alphabetical order.
That is an 11. With an
What?
11, you can tell that there was some sort of scuffle here. You can see that there's some cast off, and there's obviously some hobnailed boots that have marked some sections of the softer soil nearby, but you can't really tell where they went. Just somewhere in that direction, like off into the woods.
Yeah, he like points that out to uh our very rich friend, and he's like, "Hey, look, it's dirt. It's just dirt, but it's like scuffed dirt, and there's tracks going that way. You see them?"
I have to admit, no, I do not see them. However, I believe that you think you do.
Can I pick up the bag and see what's inside the bag?
Yep. You see that inside of that bag, the remnants of some dust, some powders, probably some sort of magical components. Somebody had cast off the bag that had some of their ingredients necessary to cast a spell.
Okay.
Ooh, can I take a look at that?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So you hand it over. Give me an Arcana roll.
Do, 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 do. Not bad.
So, you happen to see ingredients that likely had something to do with the material components for an invisibility spell.
Ooh, clever.
That's concerning.
Yeah. Ugh. I don't like that. But at least invisible people still make tracks.
It's true.
That's true. Well, maybe we should follow these tracks.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, you're the leader, Valen. You could be a little more.
Follow these tracks, you guys.
So he's like asking his, do you think we should be doing our job? Anyway, so you begin traveling after the tracks that you had found before into the woods for a ways. And as you're moving through the brush, obviously Marcus is like stepping on every twig and getting his stuff caught on every single bit of twisted vines and whatnot that are in front of you. Not vines, sorry, twigs and bushes. And you come upon a clearing not too far in, probably 100 feet off the path, that's relatively camouflaged, and there is a small encampment there. There's like 3 individuals that are standing there looking through some bags that are upon the ground. They haven't noticed you yet, but I need you all to make stealth rolls if you want to remain unnoticed.
Whoops.
Unfortunately, you get an 8, Valen, because you're wearing clanking armor.
Perfect.
Clickety clank.
Obsidian, you are not noticed yet. I'm going to roll for Marcus here. He walks right past you as you're trying to be sneaky. But the rattling of your chainmail gathers the attention. Oi! Who's there? You see like 2 individuals like turn towards you, recognizing your armor, the mark of the Hellriders. They immediately reach for their weapons, and we will come back to that in a second. We now move over to Briff Bennings. He happens to be on a little farmstead. Can you explain like what it is that your family does on their farm?
Well, they farm.
What do they farm?
Farm
though?
what?
I always pictured them as like potato farmers. Like it's not a crop that's readily apparent. Like you gotta kind of like dig it up and whatnot. It's a lot of physical work. So they're all these big brawny people with just thick arms.
They're just sitting out there with big shovels, digging holes to put the world's largest potatoes in.
Basically, yeah. Uh-huh.
All right.
Rolling hills of greenery and then just mountains in the back.
So we see you on your potato farm. Mom and Pa are there waving you goodbye. There, tears in their eyes. We're gonna miss you, son. It has been a long time coming, but you are now a man, and you must view the rest of the world and see things like your other family members have already done before you. And then your mother's there. She's like, make sure you eat every day, 2 to 3 times a meal, 2 to 3 times a day with large meals. Often, you have to stay hydrated. Avoid pits of viscous liquids, and when you're around it, don't touch anything that looks dangerous. Okay?
Okay, I love you, Mama.
I love you too, son. Like rushes over and hugs you. Your dad like ruffles your hair. He's like looking over your equipment again. What's your name for your warhammer?
So I was thinking about this Warhammer. I think your thought of it being a fence post is cool, but I think what it is it's like an old, bent, rusted one that they like used to split rocks, and they're not really sure where it came from or that it's a weapon. They just use it as a tool.
Just in the
I
shed.
think, yeah, just leaning up against the side of the house in the rain. If you had to name it, it would definitely be a woman's name, something like Betty.
Betty.
Oh yeah.
Now, you take care of old Betty there, and make sure that she stays in good form. You wouldn't want to have her body breaking down on a big swing, now would you? Last time we looked at it, I got some of that there glue we got from the old horse, never mind. But when it came to brass tacks, we have put a lot of brass tacks in that handle to make sure that it stayed on. So, you keep it up, and don't use it unless you absolutely have to.
Well, the way I see it, I take care of Betty and she'll take care of me.
That's true. Good on you. Well, what direction are you planning on heading anyway?
I'm going with the sun. I'm heading. Does it
That
go
way.
east, west in this land?
It's the same, yes.
It's the same.
Yes.
Well, I'm heading west then to make the most out of the day.
Well, the west is the coast. There's good fishing out there on the coast. There's also a bunch of big cities. I hear.
Why'd you think I brought my net?
Of course, yeah. Good smarts on you. You know what you're talking about. You know what you're doing. You know. You take that net, you catch all them biggest fish. You know what? If you come back in this direction, you bring some by. How's that sound? Mom and I haven't had fish in about 20 years, so.
Well, it's going to be some time, Pa. I don't think I'll be back for nigh on 5-6 years.
Ma is sitting there. She goes, "We can wait."
Okay then.
They give you their fond farewells and their hugs once more. You grab Betty and strap her over your shoulder. You have your backpack and your rucksack and your leather bindings and your armor and your clothing, and you start heading out across the fields. Waving fields of green. You see like a bunch of your other neighbors, like old man Scott off to the side. "Hey, Briff, how's it going, boy?"
I'm just going to see the world.
"Going to see the world. Good for you. You get out there, take the bulls by the balls, and make them yours."
If there's one thing I'm known for, it's taking them bulls by the balls.
So we see Bennings move out over the hills and start walking. You get this like montage of him like traveling over wood and dale, over streams and rivers, and like knocking stuff out of the way and carving a trail, and then walking out and realizing there was a path not too far from where he was at, but the adventure was worth it. And we'll return to you in a bit.
Solid.
We pop over now to Wistelar. Wistelar, you happen to be at your shop. At this point in time, it is still active and open, but there are rumors that something's going on that might make you end up changing some plans around. You happen to have a tender for your little gem store. What's their name again?
The tender?
Yeah, didn't
Actually,
you have
I
an
don't know if I
imp that was there that took care of your...
Oh, yeah. Oh, what was their name? Oh, I completely forget what their name was. It was something punny, and I don't know why I wasted it all on this right now. Oh, what the heck was it?
It was in the Discord chat somewhere, I'm pretty sure.
I know.
If you
but
wanted
it's
to
just
find
like,
it again. You can come up with something else,
It's
though.
like one of those. It's like one of those things where I did it real quick and then I never wrote it down. You know, like one of those lovely things.
I didn't write it down either, so that's two of us that don't know how to play games.
Yeah, we'll just make it. How about we'll name them Opal. How about we'll go with that. We'll go
Opal
with
the
something
imp.
gem themed. Yep.
So Opal is there at the shop, kind of bouncing around. Two little tiny legs, a little forked tail at the ends, Mephit style, little wings, large face, like large angular face. Wistula, I have made sure all the dust and the cobwebs are cleared from the shop this afternoon, and I was wondering, do you have any of those tasty spiders?
Sweetheart, dear, first of all, just relax. Just relax.
Relax.
You don't have to do any of this.
Oh, but
You're always so high-strung.
You're the greatest keeper of the shops in your family. They would be so mad at me if I didn't make sure I did every one of my duties 125%. Exactly. Exactly.
Yes, please.
Exactly.
Yes. Okay, well, for that, yes, you can have whatever you find is yours. I mean, obviously, if there's you could try the alleyway out back. There might be some out there too. You know, it's not exactly
Even
the cleanest
Carol?
spot. You know.
She's
Oh,
been.
yeah, I mean, we
Oh, okay. Okay.
on the port side, it's Oh no! Oh, okay. Well, have fun. You can
Just trundles off very
right.
quickly. So we happen to see your door kind of like ding 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 as the door comes open and someone steps inside. This rotund-looking man, obviously well-to-do, bearing a walrus-shaped mustache, balding head, and large bright blue eyes. He happens to have the smell of the sea upon him for some reason. As he steps inside, he walks over to you. Well there, this is a quaint little place, isn't it?
Oh, thank you. Yes. Welcome to the Hidden Gem. Is there anything I can help you with? Please just let me know.
The hidden gem. Do you do consignments?
Of course, we do anything
Anything you say.
within reason. You know, this is Baldur's Gate. Certain things fly, certain things sink.
So I have received, in one of my most recent voyages, a gemstone of quite importance, we'll say. And in this
Okay.
moment, when I have received it, I realized it is rough. It is raw. It needs to be cut down and put into something nicer than its current state.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, maybe 2 or 3 something nicers that I can then give to my niece and my cousin and I guess my wife.
Yes. Of course, yes. You need to keep. You need to make sure that all of the special people in your life, feel exactly the way that you feel about them. So we
Good,
could
good, good,
definitely
good,
do
good,
that.
good.
Are you?
So since we are in accord,
You thinking? Yeah. Are you thinking rings, pendants, brooches, necklaces, bracelets?
how about a brooch, a ring, and a necklace setting?
Can do. And what type of size are we looking at here? Like, how large is this? Is it, how
He
many
reaches into
carats
his
is it? What are
jacket
we-
pocket and just pulls out a gemstone that's rough about that size. He puts it down on the counter in front of you, and you can see that there is like a swirling miasma inside of the gem. It kind of glows under the light of its own.
I take out like a handkerchief and just like take it and just try to eye it a little bit in the light and just good news. There's plenty to work with here, right?
Of course,
we
of
can
course.
always. Oh yes, it just needs a little bit of love, right?
Give
Just
me
like
a-
everything
give
else
me
in
a
our lives, it just
straight
needs a little bit of love.
Intelligence roll
Great intelligence.
with advantage.
Oh well, that's the first one.
That's good.
Yeah, one better, 17.
Excellent. You recognize that the gemstone itself is a type of emerald. You're not sure from where it hails, but most emeralds don't contain magic inside of them. And it happens to be of a size and roughness that's going to require some specialized tools, which means it's going to take some time, and you're going to have to put in an order to actually get the appropriate equipment to work on this.
Okay, well, we can, there's lots we can do here, right? There's a lot of stone here. We're gonna polish it down. We're gonna actually, basically pretty it up, right? Because just like a man like yourself, not only do you need a gorgeous woman by your side, that gorgeous woman needs a gorgeous gem on their finger, on their self, on their person, right? We have to flatter them. Now, with the excess, do you wish to have that back? Do you wish to return it? Is that something that you want to put into another piece yourself? Do you want to match them?
Take whatever you do not use myself. I need to scatter
perfect.
that amongst my crew later.
Okay. So we can do this. We can do this on consignment. Do you have a timetable for this? Just to let you know, this is going to take a little bit extra time. We have to order some special tools. We have to, I want to make this the best for you that I can do that, right? Because I wouldn't put my name on it if I wasn't proud of it.
He reaches into a pocket and he pulls out a purse and puts it on the counter. The jingle of coins tells you that's significantly over the usual asking rate. And he states, I will return in 1 week's time. Is that enough?
Absolutely. We can definitely do that. Yes. I will make sure all the plans are in place, and by the time you get back, I will make sure this is the most gorgeous set of jewelry that you've ever seen in your life.
He interrupts you as you're still speaking there at the very end and puts his hand on your shoulder and gets in a little bit closer and goes, now make sure you do not run off with this, and make sure that you do a fine job. You wouldn't want to see me if I got angry.
Of course, I don't want anyone to be angry. Here at the Hidden Gem, we're all happy, we're all family. So you leave this in my capable hands, and I will make sure that you have something on your person that is worthy of your name.
Excellent. I appreciate this, and also, one last thing. He reaches down and grabs another pouch of gold coins, hands it over to you again. Discretion is important. You must not allow anyone to know that you got this from me, or where it is gone when it is done.
I already forgot who you are, so we're all set there.
Good. He, puts his hands behind his back and just kind of trundles out of the building. As the door shuts...
Oh, God.
as the door shuts,
Okay.
Opal moves over to you. What? What is that? What did you get? What did you get?
Quite frankly, I'm worried that once I crack this thing open, it's gonna turn into a demon. So we don't really know.
Smells like.
So we're gonna do our best.
It smells like home.
It does?
Yes. Delicious.
Well, that's disturbing. Okay, so this is what we're gonna do, right? We're going to keep this. We're gonna get our own emeralds. We're going to actually put those in his settings, and then we're going to figure out what this is ourselves, and we might be able to do something more fun with it. They won't know.
I love
we will
it.
know.
I love
It'll be
subterfuge.
great. Well, I don't know if I could feel good about giving someone a cursed jewelry, but considering the guy is obviously sleeping with 3 different people, I really wouldn't care.
I live to
I thought the
serve
first
you.
won't be the last. Good job. So, if you wouldn't mind, maybe, well, I need 2 things. One, I need you to place an order. We need some extended jewelers tools, jewelers kits. And then secondly, I want you to spend a lot of time with this so that you can tell me exactly what it is.
Yes. I'll spend day and night I'll sleep with it ever so slightly under my pillow. It will be my greatest honor to figure out what the fuck that is.
Well, as long as you're with me, everything's your greatest honor. So just get that straight, okay?
That's true. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Oh, okay.
And
That's better. That's better. Okay.
Pulls the spider leg out between his teeth.
Yeah, if you could do that outside, even better.
Fine. And he trundles off, heading outside.
I press to teach him as he's walking away, just to clean him up a bit.
We will then pop over to Willami. So you happen to have been traveling across the Dale Lands, whatever that's called, to the east, and headed towards the coast. Your goal, Baldur's Gate, at this point in time. You'd been practicing some of your musical inclinations and had been looking to seeing what you might find in the bigger city. And as you get closer to the city itself, you can see a bunch of individuals moving back and forth on the, what is it called? Basically the outer city. What's the name of it? Worm's Rest. Well, that's the... Yes.
Joaquin's Rest.
Joaquin's Rest. That's what we're looking for. So you're in Joaquin's Rest. And the city itself, a little more sparse than Baldur's Gate, not so stacked on top of every single building as it was. None of the narrow, kind of claustrophobic walkways and roadways that you happen to find in the greater city. So out here, as you're traveling, what are you doing as you come into town? Obviously, you're solo at the moment.
Yeah, I think that the first thing she's going to do is kind of check out a couple of the pubs, see if there's a good place to like set up and maybe play some music, do a little spoken word, get the snaps going, normal.
Doing the little, yeah, of course. So you walk into the nearest inn that you can find, and as you're moving inside the doors, you see people cleaning up and preparing for the evening because it's still relatively young in the day, and you see one of the proprietors kind of look over as you're preparing your own things. Excuse me, madam. Did you need a drink? Would you like a place to rest for the night?
Certainly. I just, if you don't mind, I'm going to earn some coin for the both of us.
Oh, earn some coin for the both of us. Are you a performer?
I am. I've been studying and practicing, and I believe I can put on a good show that will bring many people into your establishment.
It's very exciting. Could you potentially give me an example of your actual performance, if you would? I of course would love to hire you, but I must make sure that your quality is appropriate.
Of course. An audition?
Yes, of course.
A genuine audition? Oh, I've dreamt of this. Thank you so much.
Okay, here we go. What do you do to perform?
I think it's going to be the most avant-garde thing that this poor innkeeper has ever seen. She'll start with some pan flute, throw in a couple of verses of spoken word about life on the road and rogue bugbears and things like that, and then finish up with a little drumming on one of the tables nearby.
If you give me a performance roll, please.
Of course.
Oh, that is an 11. So you perform, and the individual looks over you and goes, "Well, that was something."
I've been practicing it in the woods, and I have to tell you, at first, the squirrels and the chipmunks were very confused, but I think by the end of the second hour, they got it. They knew where I was headed.
Hour, you say? That
This
seems like
is a 5-part performance.
five-part
Ooh.
perform.
Ooh.
I tell you what, dear, you seem like a good person, and you seem
Thank
to
you.
have some measure of modest talent. We can use that to perform for a small period of time before our regulars come in. I've got a 30-minute set we can set you up with. What do you think?
30 minutes. I mean, there's going to be a lot of things that I have to pull out, but give me 5 minutes and I'll be ready.
Okay, excellent. I can give you 2 hours because that's when the set is, the 30-minute
Oh.
window. You've got some time to
Well,
maybe
I've got plenty of
condense
time then, yeah.
a little of your performance into something that is edible.
Oh, I don't cook. I'm sorry.
That's not what I
I
meant.
wasn't
but I
clear.
will provide you with food and libations as payment for this.
Wonderful. I'm so glad that I came here and that I found you and that you're giving me my big break. Oh, your name will be on everybody's lips. What is your name?
My name? GM unprepared moment. We're gonna call him Carson Old.
Oh, Carson, everybody will know that you discovered me. They will come here in droves seeking my origin stories, and then other artists will come to you for guidance in the future. We are going to be so big, Carson.
I'm sure that we will, and I will not be a bit part that we never see again in this series ever. Um, so you take your 2 hours prepping for the night's events, I'm assuming?
Yeah, she'll actually be very focused on this. This is what she considers her opening performance, the first time she's been seen by the public. She's super excited.
Okay. So you step outside and you start working on this. There's a little park nearby. There's a temple to Ilmater not too far from where you're at. There's a lot of individuals kind of milling about doing their regular routines for the day, a few shopkeepers and whatnot that are hawking their wares on the streets. So as you're sitting out there and you're watching, you see there's a loud clanking of metal, of armored figures that find their way marching through the park where you're currently working at. All of them bear a light blue blazer with the image of a gauntleted fist with flame behind it as they are marching through the square. One of them notices you sitting there working on your own in the park, and you see them like turn, and a few of them talk to one another, and they turn back and look at you, and they proceed to start walking in your direction. What do you do?
I mean, they're obviously fans, so she'll continue playing and prepare to receive them.
As you prepare for them, you're watching them while you're playing. A young lady that is in this same attire, obviously a muscular, fit woman, walks in your direction with the others directly behind her, and they kind of fan out slightly. You there, darling. You seem to be disturbing the peace. Would you mind just fucking off?
Oh, I'm terribly sorry. I was performing,
Do you have a
and preparing for an
permit for
even
performing
larger
here in the
performance.
park, dear?
Oh, what's a permit?
A permit is something that permits you to do something in a location. And if you do not have a permit, you are outside the bounds of law. If you are outside
I
the bounds of
mean,
law, me and my friends here of the Fist would have to enforce that law. You understand? You don't want to
not
spend a night in the jail cell, do
entirely.
you?
Who gives permission? I tend to believe that the world at
Oh,
large is
you wonder
enjoying
who
my show.
provides you a permit? That is delightful that you asked, dear. Why don't you just pay us the 5 gold required, and you'll have a permit to play?
Oh, you have the piece of paper that I need right
We
now,
have permits right here, yes.
and and it will give me permission to play wherever I want to.
No, just right here in this park.
Oh, 5 gold seems a bit steep to perform in a public space.
I'm sorry that you feel that way. Unfortunately, I don't make the rules, I just enforce them.
Hmm. Hmm. Wait right here. I'll go talk to the innkeeper because I was practicing to perform at his
You
place.
see, like, 2 of the flaming fists, like, start to circle around you.
Really?
Yes, yes. I'm sorry for this getting so ugly. It seems like you aren't working with us here, and I have to say, we really don't want to get into a you're resisting us sort of situation.
But I'm not resisting you.
Good, then you have the gold.
I have gold, yes.
Excellent. 5 will do nicely.
I have 2.
2. That's all you have to your name. Please roll a persuasion roll.
Haha.
Nat 20. Okay, then. 2 is enough for your permit for today. But if you're here tomorrow,
Oh, I don't think that will be a problem.
Do you provide the 2 gold coins?
She does.
She takes them. Excellent doing business with you. You are now permitted to play in the park. Have a wonderful day. You see them all just turn and march away. They don't give you anything.
Okay.
Having
She
gotten
continues playing.
having just gotten shaken down by the authority of the city, we now move over to Thulmaris. Thulmaris, you're in the Elf Song Tavern, Jurassic Caress, excuse me. It's another place we'll go to, but that's not. Anyway, you're in Jurassic Caress right now. You happen to have patrons laughing, giggling, having fun around you. What are you in the middle of doing right this moment? Get that mask on. All right.
Heck yeah. But yeah, continue, please.
So, what are you currently engaged in doing? And we'll go from there.
I think probably just sitting at the bar, entertaining a client or someone who's come in, not really engaging anything yet, just because very recently released from things and is a little bit edgy.
All right. So this individual that's sitting with you currently, you are engaging with them, and they are basically pouring out their heart and soul and life story on you because they're slightly drunk and they really need that companionship. And it's just like, oh, and my mother is constantly on my back every day, every night. It just seems like I can never do anything right. You understand? I mean, it just doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'm constantly working to try to make my family have just a better life, and she's just bitching at me every single time. I can't. It's like, well, you happen to help that group to make all of those little topiaries, but unfortunately, one of them was crooked. You're not allowed to do that. You happen to just. I can't make any mistakes with her, man.
So one hand is like gently rubbing on this person's back. And I want to do just like an insight to psychoanalyze this person. What's his actual deal?
All right, give me an insight roll, please.
I'd love to. Doo-doo.
21, nice. So you recognize that this individual has a deep sense of self-loathing, that they actually are consistently much lazier than they should be, and they take no pride in the work that they do. They don't really like what they're doing, which is part of the problem, but they are supposed to be doing it anyways to support their family, and they hate it, and then they just can't take criticism.
I think that in like the process of just still rubbing their back, we'll just like take their hand in mine, the other hand in mine, and just say, darling, I think there might be a better calling for you out there. What would you really like to do in this moment if, let's just say, your mother disappeared?
If my mother disappeared. Wait, you're not offering to murder my mother, are you?
No, dear. This is a
Oh,
hypothetical
of course. That would never be. I'm so sorry. I know. I mean, no. Yeah, not worth any amount of gold or silver. No. What would I do? What would I do? I really want to. I really want to paint murals. There's a lot of open space on the sides of the stone buildings, the outcroppings that just look out over the ocean, and they constantly have that sea salt breeze just hits them, and it wipes things away. It clears up the past. You could replace that past every single time it clears out. You just paint. And
My goodness. So, you think you might have an artistic bent to you?
no, I don't think I'm any good at art whatsoever, but I would love to be able to paint.
I mean, isn't all things just done through practice?
I mean, you don't need a natural talent to paint, though?
My darling, I am very, very good at a very particular job. Like, nods their head towards the back rooms. Do you think I was born with that talent?
Well, I mean, with what people say about you, it seems like it. But
I had to work and just like tiptoes their fingers across the bar. I had to work my little ass off, literally, to get there.
I mean, you're probably right, but I don't think I could. I can't do that though. You can't just
Why not?
you can't just give up on everything in your life and just go chase after dreams. It's not the way it works here.
I prop my legs up on theirs. That's exactly what I did.
He takes a drink of the alcohol off the counter.
I chose to come here, chose this, and this life is honestly so much better than any that I left behind.
You've given me a lot to consider.
Well, I usually don't give people things to consider for free.
Well, of course, he reaches into his pouch and gives you the few coins that he has available at the moment. How much more time will that give me?
That depends. Should my clothes stay on or off?
I, um, I don't know what I can afford.
You would be very surprised the things that people can afford when they really want it. So I'm asking you, tell me your name, dear.
My name's Cage.
Cage.
He like raises a hand. Hold on. We're engaged in something here. Someone puts their hand on your shoulder. Calloused fingertips, belying a bit of muscle underneath. As someone in like a full leather jacket is standing there beside you. A word, Mars.
Like a finger under Cage's chin. I will be right back, and I want you to think long and hard about what it is you want from me tonight. And I will follow this other gentle person away.
Cage turns and begins drinking again. Kind of just stares around at the rest of the customers and realizing where he's at. And you follow the other individual off to the side.
Mm-hmm.
Very square man, dwarf, standing there. He kind of turns to you and goes, "Sorry to interrupt what you're doing, but Nine Fingers wants a word with you."
Where can I find the lady and when?
The usual place, midnight tonight. She has other appointments until then, so arrive on time.
What time is it right now?
It's like 9 at night.
Oh, looks back over the shoulder, like, I think I can at least... 1, 2? 2. I think I could get at least 2 before I have to go. Very well. Midnight it is. I shall be on time. And, just as a heads up, how is Keen doing?
Keen as well, as can be expected. Her temperament has grown a little sour recently. Be on your best behavior. You wouldn't wish to upset the mistress.
My dear, I am nothing but best behaved.
Make sure you're not followed, and show this to the doorman when you get there. He hands you a little card that has an icon on it.
Alrighty. Well, a little money, and then a little other business then.
He nods and just like stoically walks out. You turn back to your patron, move across the room. I'm so glad to see you back. Unclothed? And the
Well
scene,
then.
the scene fades from there. And we go back to the woods. So we see, with again, based on time and based on what's going on, we're going to skip forward just a little bit. Valen, we see you cleaning off a blade. You can see scattered blood upon you. Marcus kind of like shivering a little bit, like a blood streak across his face as the bandits that had been there on the ground before you, 2 of them dead, 1 of them arrested. Marcus pretty much had just stumbled his way through, ended up in the middle of this group. They engaged and attacked very rapidly, but you dispatched them quite simply and quite handily with Obsidian's assistance. So, as you're standing there, you've got this individual on the ground and being locked up by Obsidian right now. How do you react to the moment, Valen?
Marcus, do you really think that this is the occupation for you.
I don't know. You split that man's head clean open. It was a spray of blood. I'm so sticky right now. How do you deal with this?
Many years of practice.
I don't think I want to practice this. You're right. Maybe I should just. I think I gotta tell my father. I gotta tell my father. Oh, he's like, we just go. He starts wiping himself down with some of his rags that are nearby. The individual on the ground is just like, what are you gonna do with me? Well, you're not gonna turn me into, I'm not dead, am I?
You're first going to tell me what happened.
What happened? Well, we saw an easy mark, a young merchant, him and his family. They traveled up the roads a few times. The sage over there found a scroll of invisibility and used some, and we all just hid during one of the days and jumped out, and we attacked them, and we took the things. It didn't make very much money. The young boy was injured. The parents themselves, they were okay, but they were scared. I mean, it wasn't a big deal. It was only a minor mugging.
Minor mugging?
Yeah, we didn't murder anyone. It wasn't murder. It was just, and we only got a little bit of stuff. It was like coppers and silvers. It's not a, it's a minor offense, not a major offense. I think it deserves less than them. He points at with his shackled hands, the dead people on the ground.
Well, you can explain yourself to the Magister.
Is the Magister nicer than you?
You'll find out.
So you get up, and Marcus, stunned, walks with the two of you, heading back towards Elturel. And as you're traveling, Marcus kind of stumbles a few feet ahead and gets a little bit of a pep in his step as he gets closer to the city. He's mumbling to himself as he's worrying about what his family's going to think as he gets there. And as he approaches, you get a strange sensation. Both of you roll an investigation or a arcana check. Whichever one you would rather choose. There's an investigation of 17. Nice. Out of 6. Not so great. With a 17, and you're traveling forward, the sensation of magic in the air kind of floods your senses, Valen. Looking up, you can see the companion. It's a giant glowing orb in the sky, a second sun that sits over top of Elturel. It was placed there to drive out a vampiric threat years and years ago, when it was learned that the leadership of the city was a vampire lord who was controlling things. And the people didn't like that. And then the companion came. And with it, the extra daylight. Elturel was always under the glory of the sun. There was no night anymore. And that made the vampires not so happy. But from your position, everybody's kind of marching forward. You stop for a moment and you put your hand on Obsidian's shoulder. And as you look up, you can see something is off about that second sun. The companion seems to be flaring and staticky around the edges. What do you say? What do you do?
That's bizarre.
Oh, it doesn't usually do that?
No, it doesn't.
Oh, that's not good.
As the two of you
It's
stand
really
there,
not good.
you stand there and you stare up at it for a moment, and you notice the light seems to dim, and a brilliant purple flash and black lightning scatters around the outside of the companion. Some of it crashes into the ground, and you see explosions starting to rock the city in front of you.
It's not safe here.
You see bits and pieces of debris launching through the air. Marcus kind of rushes forward, just head down. He's got that prisoner behind him. The prisoner kind of looks back to you. What the fuck? And You can see a black beam of lightning just hit him, and they disappear. There's a crater in the ground where they were at just a second ago.
Hey, Marcus, get back here, man.
Marcus is missing.
Oh,
Oh,
oh.
There's
We've gotta
no
hurry,
blood,
T8.
there's no ash. There's just a crater that's smoking where he was a second ago.
Oh, I thought the prisoner got hit with it.
They both
Or did both
did.
of them?
Yeah, they were close
Oh,
together.
okay.
Ooh, okay.
Okay, well, never mind. Oh, shit. Oh, well. Oh, no. I'm just gonna start going towards the city.
You start
Yeah.
moving in the direction of the city. Give me an athletics roll, both of you, as the ground begins to shake.
Whee!
There is a 10 from Valen and a 15 from Obsidian. Valen, you kind of stumble a little bit as the ground begins to shake and rumble under your feet. Obsidian, you hold your feet and you proceed to walk forward. The orb that is the companion goes from a brilliant yellow-white light sun with lightning starting to cascade off of it, and it inverts and changes color. A black-purple light kind of floods your vision from this orb. And as it does so, you can see more arcs of lightning starting to scatter around. The ground shaking from multiple explosions. You can see the city itself seems to get engulfed in this lightning. There's a crackling sensation that just like cascades over your body, causes you to vibrate almost. And as it washes over you, you keep your feet. Valen, it knocks you tumbling onto the ground behind you. You can see smoldering bits of something that seems to be attached to you. And in your vision, Sid, as you're standing there, you can see just this huge dome kind of appear, and then everything kind of sinks inward, and then there's a flash of light and flame, and then there's a massive crater where the city once stood. Roughly 100 miles across, a huge crater in the ground. The city is gone. In that moment, the only thing you can think of is Darian. Valen, what do you say as you realize that the city just evaporated?
His speech. Darian. What's happening?
Oh, that's not good.
That's not good. You see other individuals off to the edge of the city, some of the smaller outcropping villages, not villages, but the outer city portions, the small farmlands and things like that. People all gathered around and stepping outside and looking now at this massive crater once where El Terrell stood. And our scene fades again. We now find Valen and Obsidian marching up the roads, heading towards the nearest city that might be a protection to them, which is Baldur's Gate. You figure it might be a good idea to go to some other larger place, try to find a new location where you can get work, where you can find some semblance of normalcy after the chaos that's occurred around you in various different directions, but most of them heading in this towards Baldur's Gate are refugees from Elturel and from Elturgard in general. The capital's gone, doesn't exist anymore. And when it comes to the social structure, the political structures, and trades routes and things like that, everything is in disarray. There is no leadership. There is nothing. The people are either having to survive off the land or having to find a new way to do things. So the two of you are traveling, and you had to stop for a break here and there. Obviously, Valen's mind is a bit preoccupied with the loss of his love. And Obsidian, you had just started a new life here. And while you didn't know a ton of people, you did find the place to be agreeable and interesting, and now you're starting over from square one, and also you have no idea what the hell happened, so that makes it hard, especially coming from a family of heroes, to go, well, didn't see that coming.
Yeah, no. He's not pleased, but he is with his wild magic background. He's very much like he gets stuff that he asked for in ways that he didn't want it to happen a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And so he was like, "Oh man, I'm gonna go out and I want to be a big hero." And then like a horrible disaster happens, and he's like, "Well, here it is, I guess." So, but he's basically kind of definitely wanting to figure out what's going on, but is trying not to bother Valen too much. Just kind of been like talking if he wants to talk and like making sure he eats and takes care of himself along the way and everything. But yeah, he's still a bit shell shocked about it though, because that's the whole city. Whole
Yeah.
city just gone.
That is a lot of people that just died. Briff. So Bennings, you're traveling over hill and dale, traveling across the lands, when you come upon the main road that leads to Baldur's Gate. As you're traveling, one evening you had gotten up, it felt strange, you'd wondered why. In the distance, you saw a massive flare of purple light, and then nothing. In the days that followed, you found a whole bunch of individuals now starting to travel up the roads that looked, for lack of better terms, fucked up. They had ratty clothing. They had next to nothing upon their backs. They were without food. They were without water. They were without shelter. Whole families displaced. And one of these nights, when you've been resting, you had seen a couple of individuals on the road up ahead of you that suddenly seemed to be beset upon by opportunistic scavengers. A couple of other refugees had decided to take what this family had remaining. So you see them beginning this altercation. These two large, younger men standing at the edge of the road come out. They're bearing cudgels, and this woman, her husband, and their child, the woman and husband middle-aged, maybe even moving towards older-aged, with a younger kid on the road. How do you react? You can see that happening right now.
Briff is not one to not approach this situation. So I see him going up and calling with the warhammer in his hand. He goes, "I am disinclined to accept the company of others when upon first meeting their demeanor is one of hostility. Come out of the shadows now and sheath your weapons. Let the light illuminate your features so I might know your face, and you have the opportunity to display you are indeed not my foe."
The two individuals off to the side that have been kind of engaging with this older couple, the leader of the two, basically, one steps forward. "This isn't any of your business, kid."
I am inclined to disagree, sir.
"Why don't you just take that big whacking stick you got there, turn around where you came from, so this doesn't have to get violent?"
Sir, where I come from, one does not take advantage of the misfortunes of others.
The woman and the husband there, the husband just kind of turns and goes, "Don't, they'll hurt you. We're not worth it."
Every life is worth something, and I do not believe yours to be worth less than any others.
The thug like moves in your direction. "That's how it's gonna be. Let's see what you've got on you there." He kind of starts eyeing your pack.
Very well. You have chosen your fate, sir.
He rushes forward at you immediately, bearing with his little cudgel, but you happen to have reach, so you get to swing first. You get to give me an attack roll with your weapon, and you do that by going onto your character sheet, going down to actions, and then just double-clicking in the section that has the D20 next to your warhammer that has a little star in it. You swing for the fences and get a failure. That would be a critical fail. I tell you what, for the exceptional role playing before this, I will give you inspiration that allows you to re-roll this roll.
No way, really?
So please.
Doesn't he get to do that anyway because of an ability he has?
No, that's for damage rolls, not for all attack
Oh,
rolls.
okay, sorry.
Great weapon fighting is just on damage. So that is
7.
a 12 to hit total. The opponent had 12 armor. So you hit his AC, you're going to cause damage. Now use the roll, the section says 1d10 plus 3 bludgeoning. Just double click that. He has 6 health. You do 6 damage. Exactly enough to just... You knock one guy down. He hits the ground so hard that he just goes out. The other one next to him, like, stops for a second. He swings in at you, trying to hit you as well. Currently, you happen to have... What's your AC? Where's that? You have 16. He rolled a 9, so he does not hit you. So he swings in, and you kind of stumble to the side, and you bring that Warhammer back one more time. Give me another attack roll.
I will give you the opportunity to surrender, sir.
Give me an intimidation roll. That's under skills.
Oh, no, I have bad charisma. Oh, wait, hold on. Do I click the charisma part where it says stat?
No, the part... Oop, you just switched it to strength. You know what? Intimidation, is that just a charisma-based roll? I thought that was also...
See, I've always... You could either do strength or charisma, depending.
I've used
So-
that primarily as a strength-based check, depending. So I would give that... You click in the die section, not in the stat section. The one that has the little...
Where's the die section?
There's the +3 in it, I believe. +2 in it.
Oh,
Charisma.
okay, I'm sorry. So I can do strength, though?
You can for this one, because, yeah, that's what you're doing.
No ones, no ones, no ones, no ones, no ones.
Whew,
Oh.
15. So the individual seeing you just clocked and knocked out his friend in one massive swing, turned completely unfazed by it. He attacked you. You didn't even take it. He just turns and goes. He drops his weapon and goes, "All right, you take them. I'll grab my friend, and we'll go."
You're gonna leave your friend, and you can scurry back into the darkness. I'm not done with him yet.
You're not done. Oh, okay, sir. And
He
you
will
see him
not be
like
further.
he's like turns and starts sprinting away into the dark. He doesn't care. He's out.
All right, I think Briff would look at the family now, right?
Mm-hmm. They look over to you.
Are you unhurt?
We are. Yeah.
Did they take anything from you?
Just the little bag. It's got our daughter's things in it.
Briff reaches down, he grabs the bag, and he walks over and he hands it to them. And his posture is very passive. He's not being aggressive or anything.
Thank you, sir.
Absolutely. Would you like to share my fire on this night?
A fire. This kindness. Yes, we would like that. And the wife goes, I could make you something as a trade for.
I have never been one to refuse a good meal. However, I do not want this to feel like a necessity for you. This is merely something I would do for anyone, and you just happen to be the poor soul getting taken advantage of. And I cannot stand idly while injustice is being displayed so viciously.
You are a wonderful young lad. If only our children grow up to be like you, we'd appreciate it. Yes,
Oh, no.
let's have dinner. And seriously, I will make you a soup. You know, we could all use some soup. So
Okay.
you head off and you set up camp for the evening and sit down upon it. Valen and Sid, the two of you are walking up the trail on the way to Baldur's Gate when you smell a delicious scent of a roadside root stew, primarily. What was that?
People, I can't help it. I can't wait. I've just been walking down roads all sad.
The two of you happen to notice Briff and this other group of refugees that are all currently sitting at a fire, and you can see the bubbling stew pot in front of them. How do you approach, or do you try to avoid in some way? What is it that what do you do?
To try to cheer Valen up a little bit before we approach, I kind of lean in and I'm like, "Do you see the size of that guy's neck?"
Roughly the size of an ox.
Yeah. Jesus. Or I guess I would say Maliki. Do we have any rations or anything that we can like?
Check your character sheet. Did you start with any?
Well, What are
Yeah, I'm
manacles?
pretty sure you're supposed to
Manacles
get
are your
rations.
handcuffs.
Oh,
If you
okay.
have an adventurous pack or something, you might have rations.
Yeah. Can I look
Yeah.
around? No, sorry to cooking.
You do have rations. Both of those, they have like 10 days of rations in them each.
Okay.
Do you want to go ask if we can have some soup? We can maybe give them some gold.
I don't think it really matters either way. After what we've been through tonight, I think a little soup by the fireside might be really helpful.
Right. So yeah, before he gets too close though, he'll like say hey and wave
Mm-hmm.
to the group.
All right. We see these individuals kind of move to the edge of the firelight, and it looks like they're interested in joining your camp. What do you say, Briff?
You announced yourself to befriend on a night when there have been so many foes. How am I to know you do not seek to take advantage of us?
We are simply city folk, and a disaster seems to have occurred of our city that has disappeared. We simply just want to rest and maybe have a meal, if you'd have us.
Then I invite you to join my fire, please. There is more than enough to go around.
And you see the lady and the husband that are there kind of turn over and look at the two of you. You two are Hellriders?
We are.
Do you know what happened?
Kinda.
What happened to the city?
Well, it seems as it disappeared.
Well,
Or imploded or something. I just saw a lot of flashing and a big, like a dome, and then it just.
so no more answers there. Oh.
Yeah.
So we see everybody here sit down and have a meal. And that is where the group here will pick up from when we come to session 1. We pop back to the city. The quick and dirty of this point in time is that Wistelar, you had the order put in about a day before, and Opal has come back to you. There's a problem. There's a problem, sir.
What's the problem now?
Your equipment has not left Worms Rock. The packaging was
hasn't it?
supposed to have gone there. It was gone there. And now it is gone.
What do you mean that it's gone?
There's a wagon.
It can't just be
There's
gone.
nothing in the wagon. It is broken upon the ground, and nothing I can do can find where it disappeared to. Although I feel like there might be cultists involved.
And why do you think there's cultists involved? That's a wide speculation.
I saw a letter to
Okay.
someone who is praising Bane.
Okay, yeah, okay, maybe there is cultists involved. Okay, that's a good sign. Yeah.
Do you want me to show you where this is at? I can show you
now.
where this is at. You could come with me and figure this thing out. I know I do not wish to fail you. I do not wish to fail you, but I can show you where it is. I can show you.
Okay, let's go. We can take a break now anyway. We can just close up the shop. It's fine. Come on, sweetheart. Come on, let's get going.
So the two of them travel further through the city, heading back to outside the main gates and over towards Worms Rock. And from there, we happen to see Willami. You have performed this evening. Give me one performance roll. Let's see how well you did at the inn.
No better. No better.
30 minutes pass, and at the end,
5 hours later.
you hear a couple of scattered woo.
They like me.
And you see a couple of coppers and a few silvers upon the table in front of you for your act. And the innkeeper is just like, and there she was, folks. Willami, congratulations on the time that you just used.
That was amazing. Thank you so much.
I'm glad you had such a great evening. Goodbye.
Oh. Bye.
So he gives you some bread and some wine and some cheese, and he gives it to you in a little cloth that's folded up. And you take your humble earnings and leave. So you gained 6 silver and 12 copper that you could put on your sheet if you'd like. And then you travel outside, and from your position outside, you're kind of taking a bite off of your bread, and you're enjoying your moment. And you can see travelers and caravans coming through. Looks like there's a merchant caravan of some kind, and a couple individuals in a cart, like travel just out of view, and then you see like an explosion. Fire goes off into the air, and smoke and debris seems to follow behind it. What do you do?
This looks like it could make for an interesting story to be turned into a poem in the future. So let's go check it out. What happened?
You travel up the rise and over this small hill where you can see that there is a cart that is bearing a couple of symbols on the side of it, which you jot down for further notice, but you don't know what they mean. And there is a crew of masked individuals that are like grabbing crates out of this stuff very quickly. And there's a man with them that they bag, they stuff a bag over his head, and then they move just down an alleyway out of view, and then seem to disappear.
She's going to make a quick sketch of the person who got bagged and at least one or two of the others. And then quietly follow, because again, the story continues, obviously.
All right. Sneaking behind them, give me a stealth roll. "13. Not terrible, not great. You come up to an alleyway. You kind of peek around the side, and you can see like a little manhole cover into the city sewers just kind of ting, 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 like stop. Nobody seemed to have noticed you at the moment. Although, give me a perception check. Okay, you don't notice
Nothing.
anything.
I see nothing.
So you take a look at the equipment, you take a look at the manhole cover like closing. You look around a little bit. You see a small imp like standing over top of this crate of destroyed materials, looking very, very worried before turning invisible and like wandering off in the other direction.
She was going to ask if he needed help, or if they needed help, but I guess not.
The next day, you found a place to rest off the city streets a little bit. Covered yourself up in whatever clothes and outfits that you had for cold weather, because it's not that bad, but it's cold enough. And when you awaken, you can see that there is the city going about its hustle and bustle as usual, but there's a bunch of flaming fist, standing around the wreckage of the cart. And there is a quite pleasant-looking azure dragonborn, and that same small imp standing off to the side of this group of flaming fists that are taking a look at this cart, kind of staring at it.
I'm going to use command. Or not command, but
Message?
message, yes.
Okay, and what is your message going to say?
I believe your imp knows where everything went, and I can show you if they won't.
A voice enters your head, Wistelar, as you turn and you see an Eladrin sitting on the city street, just looking at you.
They're gonna try to like nonchalantly be like, and I'm done looking at this scene now, and just try to like wander themselves over and just, Opal, please come on.
So that you move over towards the Eladrin on the road, and we will return to that in session 1. Vilmaris, midnight has arrived. You find yourself walking down the hidden walkways in the Undercity, leading into a small, nondescript door of sorts that looks more like a maintenance hatch. There's one individual kind of standing off to the side who's pretending to be ill as you walk up. As he turns,
Um,
you shouldn't be here. It's dangerous fumes.
it is not Thulmaris' face that this person sees. It is Inferno's.
Inferno's face.
As pulls out the card that was given. I
grabs
believe.
grabs the card, and you
I
see
have
the person stand up. Right this way. He like turns, and the wall just kind of shifts open to the side. As you step in, you see a bunch of individuals working together on various projects. Some of them looking at maps on tables. You can see a bunch of product on other tables with people sitting around them. Sounds of gambling and drinking occurring inside of this narrow space. And you're escorted into an office built into the side of this underground facility. And as the door opens, you just hear, "Send him in." "Yes, my lady." Turns. Just points.
So, where Thulmaris tends to like glide places, Thulmaris cuts. So it's just a very sharp, just like steps on the wood of the guild hall, going into the office. Does not pay any attention to any other person. There is a job to do, and it requires him going to Nine Fingers.
You see a narrow-jawed, stark figure, 5'9" or so, all muscle and sinew. This woman standing over a desk that is scattered with papers and coins and a bunch of various books, ledgers, and other details. She kind of just pushes some things aside. She barely notices you as you walk inside, as she's currently engaged in this. Her 5 fingers of one hand sit there splayed out, and her 4 fingers on the other. There, you can see daggers hidden in spots all over her, with a few poking out appropriately to show you that she is armed. And her assistant is just standing off to the side, arms just crossed in front of her, her head kind of bowed. She looks asleep, if you didn't know any better. And as you step into the room, Nine Fingers Keen just kind of says, "Inferno, I have a job
Ma'am?
for you." She like pushes something aside and puts a name on the table in front of you. I'm really bad with names, so I can't remember it at the time of this specific moment.
Yes.
But
I'll find it, I'm sure.
the mercenary house name is what I'm looking for. They're not a mercenary. Yeah. Do you have it?
Nope, don't have it. I'll find it later.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll get back to that later. So, one of my caravans has been hit. There is some important cargo there for me. I need you to find and retrieve it. It's a deck of cards. Not just any cards, you see. Ensorcelled by a powerful wizard. I need those back. And you're going to get them for me. Look
course I
into
will.
it outside of the city. There's a wreckage there. There's some individuals who had been involved in this underhanded business. I think their target was something to do with Tiamat. But other than that, the information isn't there. Be aware that you will likely be dealing with followers of the Dead Three. I do not wish for you to harm yourself in this, so if you find yourself over your head, please turn and leave. But you do not get to give up.
Understood. And any problems of excessive or violent force in order to get them?
Against the followers? None. But I have the fist in my pocket right now, and I do not wish to make enemies of them. If they have considerations or requests of you, you must abide by them during this.
A like small frown, but yes, you did get me out of jail, so I will make certain that we do not cause any other issues.
Excellent. Dismissed. Oh. Please be aware that if you find anything that belongs in the guild's hands, you are to retrieve that as well.
A bow and then just a smile. of course. And just a 180 sharpest turn, walks back out.
All right. So you head out to go and find out what's going on. You find your way to the outer city as well, heading towards Rivington. And that is where today's session will end. That was session 0. Next time here on the game, we'll be setting up the actual Descent into Avernus module and moving into the city. And sorry if things weren't quite as smooth as they could be. I didn't have my notes anywhere I could find them. So we did as we could. So thank you again for watching, everybody. We're going to go around the table here. Give us your outro. Tell us where we can see more of you, if you would like us to see more of you, and tell us what you enjoyed about today and what you're looking forward to. Those are the 3 little things, and then we're done for today. We're going to go, as always, at random to see who goes first. Rolling a d6, and it looks like this time it's going to start not with Brian. So we're starting with Gwen tonight. So give us your out there, Gwen.
Atomic, you're either first or last. I don't know what it is.
I know.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for being here. My name's Gwen, also known as McSherry. You'll often find me over there in the chat, acting as a moderator and just having fun with everybody. You'll find me here, obviously, every other Saturday. And also, like I said earlier, keep an ear out for the podcast of Cirque Noir, which should be coming soon. I mean, today was just fun getting to know all of these fabulous people that I get to game with and all of that. But I have to say that Benning's speeches have been the best thus far.
You did a fabulous job.
Oh, thanks.
All right. Amy, your turn.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
Oh no. Yeah. I'm Amy at Kitten Boxing. Also, you can find me on the Cornfields and Kobolds podcast. That's something that I do. Also, oh my gosh, I'm the only person on the podcast in a group finally. Usually there's like 2 or 3 of us. But hey, it's just me. Tonight was good. Everybody's just so good. I was so happy. Everyone's doing really great. Yeah.
Well, glad you enjoyed it and looking forward to seeing more.
I'm sorry, my brain is real messed up since I had COVID.
And the 3 hours. I mean, honestly, every single time I roleplay, 3 hours of continuous attention eventually makes me completely mush personally. So I don't know if everybody else has the same experience. Marquise, your turn.
I mean, you did skip Clint, but okay.
Did I? Oh God, I did. See, my brain is mush. Clint can go now. We'll just do that then. Clint, your turn.
You can sometimes find me because I haven't been streaming consistently, but at Clinked TTV, we play a lot of video games over there. But yeah, no, this was a lot of fun. I'm kind of dipping my toes more into this and trying to better myself as whatever this is, awesomeness. And I really enjoy it. And it's really cool to meet new people and see how creative and clever you get. And it's really inspiring. So thanks for letting me be a part of it.
Of course, anytime. All right, now Marquise, you can go in order.
So, hi. I'm Barty Time, your internet ex-boyfriend. Don't worry, though. It was mutual, and I taught you how to love your smile. You can find me on Ballad of the Seven Dice, where I play a Catboy Magus stuck in a video game, trying his hardest to get out and hopefully not lose another 3,000 human souls to Elder God nonsense. I also have done guest spots on Moon Harbor Heroes whenever I play superheroes when I play Masks. But I also play Mask on this channel every other Wednesday. Which actually is funny because it should line up now that Wednesday and
With
this Saturday.
one, yeah.
Should be the same time. Where I play Mr. Brightside, who very much is all about positivity and good vibes only, and not about murdering people.
Not at all.
But my favorite part was Opal. 100%. just everyone understands. Atomic was talking about how like, oh, I want to play a good character. And it's like, really, that was a good character, a weird version of good. But Opal was. I love that so much. Your NPCs are great. I love them.
Aw, thank you.
Always.
And Bennings. So, Lowell, your turn.
My name's Lowell. Everything I have says Twinkle Toes. Don't look for me anywhere. I don't do anything. This is the extent of it. Very happy to be here. Not sure how I got here, but living it and loving it. I'm gonna start taking Benning's dialogue a little more seriously. I have more fun with the serious stuff than the goofy stuff, honestly. And I'm just happy that everybody is doing voices. It's so much fun, and can't wait for the next session. Thank you for allowing me to play with you guys. Honestly, it's been so much fun.
It was awesome to see you to blossom into Bennings, and this is just session 0. You haven't had all that time to develop him as you play. Of course, I know that you're someone who completely overthinks all of his characters, so that's fine. That's fine. This young man's also an amazing
I may
writer.
have just wrote down Benning's whole speech that way before. I've got a couple in here in case he meets people's. I was like, oh, if someone approaches him in the darkness, he'll say this, and then somebody approached him in the darkness.
He is absolutely a writer, a novelist at heart who needs to take more time actually writing things because he's brilliant at it. I'm not even joking.
Don't buy it. Don't buy it. He flatters me.
Anyway, someday we'll read his book. Brian, your turn.
Hey everybody, I'm Atomic or Atomic Zero. Mostly doing podcast stuff right now. Twitch has been largely inactive, so stay tuned for some things. Finally, I have 2 major projects brewing, so stay tuned for that. And for me, I think the thing I'm most excited for is just for the group to come together. Yeah, get everyone, so we can finally have that whole moment where someone goes, "Now roleplay amongst yourselves," and then it's probably going to be a while.
It'll be like really an hour or 2 of me just sitting here,
everyone come in,
just watching, just eating popcorn. I love those moments as well. And of course, I am Ty, Lot Even Star, everywhere. I do the stuff here at this channel, and I make games and I write stuff. And that's basically it. Do art. I do art too. That's the thing I do. So thank you very much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed yourselves. We will see you again in 2 weeks' time. That is the 20-somethingth. The 30th, actually. The 30th, that's the day. 14 plus 16 equals 30. That's an easy math to do, but the brain thing at the end of the... Yeah, you get it. Thank you again for watching, everybody. We hope you have enjoyed yourselves. I've already said that, but I'm saying it again. Have a wonderful evening. Goodbye.